What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean Peter Bluff guy. Hey! And we are back with another chapter. Uh, I was about to say discussion stream, but it's a little different today. It's not a discussion stream. Today we will actually be reacting to the chapter. My initial reaction, I have not read the chapter yet at all. I've been trying to stay spoiler free, so please y'all don't spoil in the chat, right? I mean, I know y'all read the chapter already. I know you guys come here, so don't spoil what's ahead in the chapter. You know, I don't even need like the next page is gonna be lit. Don't say none of that. I don't need none. Just yeah. We gonna go panel by panel through the chapter. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the chapter, right? So yeah, don't spoil in the chat, please. Don't no spoil in the chat. It's been tough. It's been tough this week avoiding spoilers, and I know in some cases I kind of seen some spoilers right now, and I don't fully know the context of some of the panels that I've seen or some of the stuff I seen from the chapter, but you know, I did see some of it, which is kind of disappointing. But the good thing is, I don't know the context in it at all. So yeah, we got Cube in the building. He said, "Hey man, what's good, Cube? Shout out to Cube." Cube said, "I think we can directly go into the manga and do the talk afterward. Best way to well, that's what we're doing, bro. This is a reaction. We're going right into the manga. I'm gonna be reading the manga panel for panel. You know, it's not a talk. I haven't read the chapter yet. So this is an initial reaction stream where we're going to read the chapter and um we're gonna read the chapter and then discuss it after we finish reading. Uh Angel's Room said bet no spoilers. Yeah, man. I'm a eventually this channel is going to grow cuz I'm thinking about doing these reaction streams from here on out, right? Like, you know, seeing how this goes, this going to be the kind of this just kind of testing the waters, see if I like doing it live, like reacting to it live, or if I like reading it first and then talking about it. You know, this is just a test right now, right? This is just going to be a test. So, yeah. What was I going to say? I'm a little distracted by some cooking, right? What was I going to say, man? Damn. Oh yeah, so yeah, okay. I know. I was there was something I was talking about that I wanted to address before I got into it. So yeah, so as this channel grows, I might have to have some moderators in the chat so people don't come like so the new later, you know, like later when we get more people in the chat. So, you know, to kind of moderate, make sure people not spoiling in the chat. So, you know, you guys could delete chats or whatever. So I might eventually later down the line call upon some of you guys, especially you guys being the vets of the channel. And you guys being the vets of this channel, you know, you guys can make sure that our reactions, right, our chapter reactions aren't ruined by people coming in and spoiling things. You know, because that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves is spoilers, right? People spoiling things. You know, now I think there's levels to spoiling, right? Like you got like let's say an episode, right? The episode drops and somebody who hasn't watched One Piece, they're late in the game. Right, you gonna get spoiled. I'm sorry. But if it's something like a chapter just dropping and you got the leaks, like the scans that come out ahead of the actual official chapters, and you got people leaking these out, and then it's like those type of spoilers, I'm not a fan of. I don't like that. You know, or like if there's a movie in theater, not a lot of people seen it yet. You know, you gotta wait for a majority of the community to pretty much, you know, read it before you go talking about stuff. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. But before I get into this, before I get into that, make sure y'all show some love and hit that like button if you haven't already. And also subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the One Piece Discord and the One Piece Facebook group. If you go to the One Piece Facebook group, there's initial questions, right? Like when you just in the question say, look, man, I subscribe to you on YouTube and I accept you right away. Cause I'm a little back, right? There's like a backlog of people trying to get in the group. And a lot of people, I'm selective of how I choose people in the group. Cause I don't want it to be like these other One Piece groups where it's just cluttered with just nonsense, So yeah, definitely in the question, just say, hey, I subscribe to you on YouTube, or I'm here from YouTube. It don't matter. Just let me know you're here from YouTube and we're good. All right. Okay. Off to the chapter. I'm not going to put none of the chapter on the screen, because copyright stuff, right? I'm not trying to get the channel copyright stricken. Definitely, I'm not gonna put it on just yet, but I'm gonna try to find a way around that though. Like, I know I see people putting like red stuff over the chapters, or just changing up the chapters. But yeah. But for now, we're gonna just read the chapter. But guys, give me 1 second. I gotta do something real quick. All right, y'all. My bad. Yeah, let's get into this chapter. Before I get into it, let me just read the chats, even though I kind of read them already. Cube said, "Hey man, I think we could go into the manga and do the talk afterward. Best way to avoid spoilers. That's pretty much what we going to do, brother." Angel's Room said, "Bet no spoilers." Cube said, "Fire." Angel's Room said, "Hold on, let me pull up the chapter." Hey man, I know you said that a while ago, so I'm pretty sure you had all the time in the world. My bad, y'all. Let me get this chapter pulled up. I gotta find it. Where? Okay, yeah. All right, so like I said, y'all. I'm not gonna put the chapter on the screen because copyright reasons. But if I could find a way around that, then I'll start doing that. But even then, I might still, because you never know when Shueisha are going to come around and try to copyright strike people and find ways to do it, even if you find ways around it. But yeah, anyway, One Piece chapter 1044, Warrior of Liberation. All right, so we got the cover story. Okay, let's look at the cover page real quick before we dive into the chapter, because it's a lot going on. From the looks of it, we're still in the Germa 66 cover story. We have Oven. Looks like he dropped off the book, the Vinsmoke book, in some type of a laboratory, right? We see a doctor with in the middle. He has like this big top hat, right, and with a knife in his left arm. Kind of looks to be waving at Oven. Oven's leaving. He's waving at Oven, and then to the right of the doctor, right, to the right of the main doctor, what looks to be, there's a woman, I was gonna say fairly voluptuous woman, and she has like octopus legs, right? And each octopus leg has, each tentacle have knives in them, and and her head is kind of like a snow cone. And then there's like a shorter guy to the left of the doctor, you know, our left, his right, and mysterious dude, he's holding a knife with looks to be surgical gloves on, like he's about to do some operating. And then all the way in the middle, down like in the bottom of the actual panel, there's this little girl kind of in between Yonji and Nichiji, and she kind of looked like Alti a little bit, She got like the little mask, the little COVID mask over her face, being very thoughtful for others, with her COVID mask. And she's pretty much dragging a teddy bear. And it says, the title of this story says, Mama's away on a trip, begin the experiment. So, yeah, they're about to experiment on the Vinsmokes. I guess they want to get the Vinsmoke secret, right? They want to get the Vinsmoke secret of the genetics and stuff. That's kind of what I'm assuming. But yeah, starting off the page, ooh guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. I'm excited. We're about to get into the chapter. Cube said got the chapter with me. Shout out to you. All right, man. All right, so we got Zunisha walking. It says, "What happened to me? Why can I still stand? Even though I lost, I'm having fun for some reason." Ah ha 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 ha. Right? And hold on. Yeah, let me zoom in on this so I can get. All right, so then we kind of get a close up of Zunisha's eye, and then we also get Momonosuke looking. I guess he senses what's going on. Maybe he's hearing Luffy's voice again, right? And it says dum dut, something like that, And then Momonosuke is saying Luffy is, and then we kind of get like all right, so we get hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, now I got it. And then Yamato is pretty much saying, "What is, or is that what Zunisha? Is that what Zunisha is saying?" Or no. Okay. I kind of missed something because it was cut off. We get Momonosuke saying Luffy is Joy Boy. The Joy Boy part was cut off. I just seen Luffy is. And then Yamato says, "Is that what Zunisha is saying?" So I guess, Momonosuke is kind of translating for Zunisha. Why can I not move this? This is acting weird. What's going on with my why is it? I guess I can't zoom in because it's acting weird when I zoom in to it. Okay, that's better. So we go to Pleasure Hall, Left Brain Tower, and Sanji wakes up and there's what looks to be a little girl. Is that? I'm not sure. It looks like a little girl next to Sanji, and they're saying you're awake, Sir Pirate. That might be Otama. I'm thinking. I'm not too sure who that is. And Sanji says huff Luffy. Then we cut to the performance floor, and Kid is looking shocked. He says, "Huh?" Law is just shocked, just waiting. And then Hillgirl says, he says, "What? Is that you, Straw Hat fellow?" Marco, Straw Hat. Hey, he's still breathing. And then Otama said, "Luffy's alive." We got Nami talking about Big Brother still breathing, or I guess this Nami saying Luffy's alive, and Otama saying Big Brother's still breathing. It looks like the quote bubble was kind of like crossing, right? It kind of looked like they were crossing, like the bubble above Nami was what Otama was saying, and the one above Otama was what Nami was saying. But I think the one above Nami is Nami. Angel's Room said the girl he thought he hit. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Talking about Sanji, right? It's the one Sanji. Okay, so now we cut to Mary Joa, Sacred Mary Joa, the Hall of Power, Pangea Castle. Oh boy, we getting some Gorosei now. I'm sorry, y'all, if this is a little weird. I'm not used to doing my initial reaction on stream, so this is something I got to get used to, right? I'm used to doing a discussion, a certain type of way, and this is a completely change up. So, it might be a little shaky. This live might be a little shaky. All right, so the Gorosei said, "So we've lost an elite agent and made Kaido angry. What was the point?" Okay, so I guess they got the report that that the dude who distracted Luffy, the CP0 agent, he was pretty much killed. Now what I assume, we could talk about this a little later, but what I assume is, maybe the other CP0 agent pretty much felt his life vanish, right? So again, Angel's Room, maybe there's something too. Maybe well, I'm assuming it's more of he did. I don't know if he's heard, like, maybe they kind of had the same thing with Luffy, where people stopped hearing Luffy's voice. Maybe they stopped hearing the CP0 agent's voice, or maybe they just sensed his life form vanish, right? I don't know. I don't know how the CP0 agent was able to report that to the Gorosei that the dude died. But yeah, so they're realizing the error that they pretty much made, right? That everything they did is failure. Now, and I don't even know if they realize that we're probably about to find out, right? But I don't even know if they realize that not only did they try to, whatever I guess they tried to prevent, they probably actually facilitated, right? But yeah, let's continue. So the old dude, they're all old. I don't know why I said the old one. The one who looked like he got the dreadlocks, right? And he got the beard and the dreadlocks. He says, "What if I told you that there was a potential future that would make us beg for this outcome? It is always better to eliminate dangerous variables." So yeah, they're talking about Luffy. Like, okay, sure, having the Wrath of Kaido is a bad thing, but it could be worse, which now I think they got the Wrath of Kaido and they failed at whatever they try to prevent, right? The bald head the Gandhi looking Gorosei member, he says, "In every era, the world government has attempted to recover the gum fruit, and not once has it ever succeeded for 800 years. Okay, wow. That, yo, I'm gonna just say this. This is probably the most we've ever got from a Gorosei discussion, because I'm not even done the discussion yet, right? And we're getting so much just from the Gorosei, right? Like this whole arc, this is probably the most we've seen from the Gorosei, which is in itself is good, right? And I'm not even talking about the stuff right next to like that I see to the left of the panels I'm currently reading. But now we're getting the fact that the world government been trying to get the gum fruit this whole time, right? Like for 800 years they've been trying to get the Gum no Mi, and they've been failing. So Shanks, so yeah, this chapter definitely kind of confirms that maybe Shanks did know the specialness of the Gum no Mi, right? You know, and it wasn't just some ship that he was just taking the devil fruit from, you know. And it also confirms that the devil fruit, the Gum no Mi is a special fruit, right? So, but let's continue. Man, I done seen some. I jumped ahead a little bit. I shouldn't have. So it said it is as though the devil fruit is trying to escape our grasp. Zone fruits contain a will of their own, and this particular fruit has the name of a god. Oh my goodness. Okay, I skipped something. He said, and it very well might be. The other name of the gum fruit is the zone type human fruit mythical type model Nika. Yo, who said this? Who said this? I feel like it was either Threevil or who said this? Somebody said like the sun god devil fruit, right? Now and again, I know like Elids, he talks about this. He talks about how we might get a sun god form of a gear, like of Gear 5 or something, right? So he did talk about this. But somebody specifically called it and said that it was the sun god devil fruit. And I even one time said that it could be a zone devil fruit, like a Hito no Mi, kind of like the Buddha one, right? Because I said if it's going to be a sun god devil fruit, because I remember somebody predicting saying it's a sun god devil fruit, and I said if it is indeed the sun god devil fruit, it has to be the Hito no Mi, kind of like the Buddha devil fruit, right? Kind of like the Buddha devil fruit. Man, this is wild. And Best Gen, man, I know Best Gen gonna be disappointed because he didn't like people calling it the zone devil fruit, right? And a lot of people were saying it's resin. It's definitely not the resin devil fruit. It's definitely not the resin one. You know, man, bro, I'm sorry, but my head is kind of like exploding. I kind of gotta step back from the chapter a little bit. Let me read what you guys are saying. Oh my goodness. Angel's Room said hype, and he said Elids and evil. Exactly. He said Threevil said about the Hanuman. He threw the idea of the Nika no Mi. Yeah, somebody said the Nika no Mi, and that's the one I'm talking about, right? They said the sun god Nika no Mi, and it's like Elids. I don't think Elids necessarily predicted it would be the sun god devil fruit, but he did say something along the line as, we will get a sun god form of maybe Luffy's either Luffy's awakening or Gear 5. You know, man. Yeah, Threevil said about the Hanuman, right? And I was like, you know what? I don't think, because I kind of disagree with the Hanuman and the what's it called? The other the Monkey King, I forget his name. He's like the Hanuman though. I remember saying one time, I said, look, I like both of those ideas. I like the Hanuman and the Monkey King or whatever, the Sun Wukong, right? The Sun Wukong. I like those ideas, but I think since Nika was established, I felt as though Nika probably would be the embodiment of the Wukong and the Hanuman, right? Like kind of like the embodiment of it. So if there is a Wukong devil fruit, it should be the Nika one instead, because it's original, right? It's original to the story. So, and I did guess one time. Now it wasn't a theory that I was like, it wasn't a theory that I was strong, stern, like that I stood by, but I did guess it one time. It was kind of a stretch. I said before. Angel's Room said he threw the idea of Nika no Me, and he said Elids. Cube said Bluff. You and I said that a few weeks since it was more human in anything. Yeah, I remember once I said if it is going to be like either the Sun Wukong devil fruit or the Hanuman devil fruit or a Sun God Nika devil fruit, it would probably be a zone devil fruit, like a Hito no Mi, kind of like the Buddha devil fruit that Sengoku has, right? He has the Buddha devil fruit. So the fact that he has kind of a deity devil fruit, it happens to be a zone devil fruit that is also a human. It's like a awakened human, right? And that's the same with the sun god. But all right, but let's continue. Let's continue, y'all. I gotta get back in. Let me finish this. These chats. We got Stan in the building, man. Shout out to Stan. It's been a minute since I seen Stan. He said, "What up, Bluff? What's good? What's good with you, Stan? Welcome back, man. Where you been, bro? Where you been? I ain't seen you in so long." Then we got BSP. Shout out to BSP and welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. He says Sun Wukong was inspired from Hanuman. Yeah, I think they're both actually deities, right? Like, I think the Sun Wukong is actually a real deity, but they have a lot of similarities, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I'm not that big into mythology, so I'm not going to debate it. I'm not too sure, but I'm not. I'm not that well versed in world mythology, I guess. Angel's Room said, and I think one of your own reactions, you said Luffy's Devil Fruit might be Wukong, Joy Boy, and Hanuman combined into one Devil Fruit, the Nika. Yeah, I said something along the line like, hey, I believe that if it's a Nika Devil Fruit, I believe that Nika would be the embodiment of all those different characters, right? And if it is indeed the Nika Devil Fruit or a Joy Boy Devil Fruit, because I think there was people saying it could be like the Joy Boy Devil Fruit. If it is indeed one of those Devil Fruits, it might be a Hito no Mi, similar to Chopper's Devil Fruit. But that's wild though. Now we officially know that Luffy is actually a zone. He's actually a zone devil fruit user, right? So it's like him and Chopper. Him and Chopper technically got the same devil fruit, except he just has a different type. Luffy and Chopper have the same devil fruit, but it's just a different model, right? They had the same type of devil fruit, different model. That's wild. All right, so let me continue, or let me try to finish you guys' chats, and then I'm gonna continue. Hey, and y'all don't again. I'm this is a live reaction. This is my initial reaction, so don't skip ahead and spoil anything, right? Right now, and I'm at the part where the Gorosei pretty much reveals the name of the devil fruit. Um, Angel's Room said, and I think one of your okay, I read that part. Stan said this was a great chapter. It's great so far. It's great so far. Q says, I remember very vividly I brought up similarities with Chopper's different forms, and there the talk went to a Hito Hito no Mi. Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, you know, like the gears could be kind of looked at as like similar to Chopper's, you know. Now I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like I was sitting here pushing for Luffy's devil fruit to be the sun god Nika. I've said it before, but like I would be lying if I act like that was my theory and I was like gun ho about this theory. I kind of said maybe the Gummo Gummo no Mi is not necessarily special, right? But if it is special and if it is indeed the Nika or the Joy Boy, I thought it would be a Hito Hito type devil fruit, right? All right, so it said going back to the Gorosei guy, he said the zone type human fruit mythical type model Nika. Then we get the laughing, ha 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 ha. And then it says possessing a body with the properties of rubber and fighting whatever way he fancies, bringing smiles to the faces of the people, the warrior of liberation, also known as Nika, the sun god, awakening, bring his rubbery body greater physical strength and freedom. And it is said that in all the world. So, okay, so like it's pretty much confirmed that the sun god Nika had a rubbery body, right? So it explains this whole time with Luffy, his whole rubbery body is just the same form Nika took, right? Like Nika had a rubbery body and like rubbery properties. He had rubber properties. Oh man, let's continue. This is wild, man. This is wild. This is wild. So I guess this is an awakening. It wasn't necessarily a possession of Joy Boy taking Luffy's body. It was more of an awakening for Luffy's devil fruit. That's kind of what I might be, what I'm kind of getting, There is no power more ridiculous. And then we go to the treasure repository, second floor, Onigashima, and it's Hiyori, and this is Orochi. I loved Oden too. Think carefully now. I was being used by Kaido. Come, let's escape his wrath together. Now undo the nails. I think this is Hiyori talking. After you have kicked dirt upon every samurai to whom you owed a debt, who do you expect will listen to you now? My father upheld his promise to you. Did he not? He trusted in the deal that he made with you and Kaido to liberate Wano. For 5 long years, my father danced and made a fool of himself. Never once explained himself to his own family. My father kept his word. And he believed that you would free the people in the end. And withstood 1 hour of your boiling cauldron. He withstood the searing burns of the bubbling oil. Despite the smile that never left his face, he bore your torments all alone because the entire country was taken hostage. His sufferings was unimaginable. And then we get Hiyori thinking back, and we kind of get a flashback with Oden saying, "What's the matter, Hiyori? Doesn't it feel bad when everybody says mean things about you, Father? And Odin says, not at all, my dear. Why not? And Odin says, because I have all of you. And then Hiyori says, really? And we'll be together forever. Man. And Orochi says, actually, I realize now that Odin was a great samurai. In fact, speaking as Shogun, I think your father deserves. And then Hiyori says, my name is Kosuke Hiyori. Hold your tongue, you nav. Called him a nav. I don't even know what nav mean. BSP says, if you're curious about Hanuman, I'm your man. I'm Hindu. Okay, man. I actually watched the theory about the Hanuman. I know a little bit like it, right? Like it is similar to the Sun Wukong, but I know a little bit about it. Not well versed though. I'm not well versed. But I like how Hanuman, when you look at the word Hanuman, it looks a lot like human, right? It looks very much. If you drop the A and the N, the first A and the N in Hanuman, it's pretty much human, right? Stan says, I'm good. I wasn't able to come because I was sick from COVID, and I also got university tests to attend to. So, yeah, I was a little busy. Hey, man, I'm glad you're doing better though, man. I'm not tripping. It's just been a long time. I had to point that out. I noticed when some of you guys, I haven't seen you guys around in a while. Cube says Sengoku, the Fox, Chopper, Luffy have the same type of devil fruit. Doesn't somebody else have it? Right? Like it is Sengoku, the Fox, the one who Yukimari, I think that's his name. Chopper and Luffy. Yeah. For some reason I was thinking Robin, but she has the flower fruit or something along hers is more Prometheus, it's not his own. Yeah, disregard what I said. Stan says, I'm so happy that it's not some reincarnation Joy Boy spirit possession type thing that would have been so bad. I disagree with that, but it's not though. So, good on that. All right, so so we got this big panel with Hiyori removing her mask, and she's pretty much crying. It's a nice panel, right? Very, very detailed. You could definitely see the pain in Hiyori's face. And then Odin pretty much gasped, right? He gasped. He says, no matter, or Hiyori says, no matter the growling of my empty stomach and the rags I had to wear, I never shamed my father's name. You were never the Shogun, not even for a single day. And then Odin says, or Orochi says, wicked fool, or no. This is still Hiyori. I'm sorry. She says, wicked, foolish, and wretched. The worse you became, the greater the insult to the lives that were lost. And then Orochi says, whoa. Hey, not so fast. Don't do anything rash now. Revenge is antiquated. It's behind the times. And killing me won't make it any easier to beat Kaido. It's wild he says that. Because it's like, you pretty much did what you did in revenge, right? Revenge for the Kazumi clan. Like, you did everything you did for revenge. And now you pretty much fear revenge, right? We got one life man in the chat say, yo, what's good? One life man. Shout out to One Life Man. So we get the return of Kazumbo. And Kazumbo is like a little apparition, right? Just very not as big as he once was. He said, "Lord Orochi." Orochi says, Kazumbo says, "I have failed." And Orochi said, "Is that Kanjuro?" Or I think it's Orochi. It might be it could be I think it might be Hiyori that says that. Kazuma says, "I am spent." And then Orochi says, "No, perfect timing. I give you a new play to perform. Burn that woman to death. Leap onto her clothing. Gwahahaha. We'll call it the failure of the woman's 20-year revenge. Alas, what a tragic tale. Witness the plight of Hiyori, remnant of the Kazuki name. This is the fate of all who were once mighty." And then Kazumbo says, "Lord Orochi." Fa, hey, no, not over here. So that's Orochi saying. Then Kazumbo looks like he jumps on Orochi. You know, I don't know why. I guess he's trying to embrace him or so. I don't think he's trying to hurt him though. And then Orochi pretty much catches on fire. And Hiyori says the dawn is sure to come. And Orochi says, "Kanjuro, you idiot. Help me, Hiyori." Yow. And then Hiyori says the Kosuke clan always keeps its promises. And then we see a picture of the moon over Onigashima. And then we cut and it says, "Oh, I can do everything I wanted to do. I think I can fight a bit longer. My heartbeat sounds so funny." And this is the pinnacle of what I can do. This is Gear 5. Oh, we're getting Gear 5. I honestly wasn't sure if we was even gonna get a new gear in Wano. Like, if anything, like coming into Wano, I thought like the biggest accomplishment we might see from Luffy was a Devil Fruit awakening. You know what I'm saying? Then maybe we'll get Gear 5 and like the next arc. But we're getting Gear 5, y'all. Let me see what y'all talking about though. Shane says, "You were right, awakening us gear 5th." Did I say that? Well, technically he did kind of have to awaken his devil fruit. So I guess but what I was saying was kind of in a different context. So, you know, I didn't think it would come down. I didn't think we'd get it this way, right? Like Luffy awakens his devil fruit and then, you know, to the sun god Nika, right? He awakens it as sun god Nika and then he goes Gear 5. Like, I didn't predict this. Like, right? I didn't predict this. Shane says, or hold on. One Life Man said, "Shanks killed Luffy to awaken Luffy's power." Shanks? You mean Kaido? Kaido killed Luffy? Shane says, "To me, Nika is basically Hanuman and Sun Wukong." Yeah, I actually agree with that statement. I've said before, because a lot of people made theories that it was the Sun Wukong or the Hanuman. I was like, I think if we're going to get a devil fruit like that, it would probably be like Nika or Joy Boy, and they'll pretty much be the culmination of the Sun Wukong and the Hanuman. But it's like One Piece's version of the Sun Wukong and Hanuman, right? Since they already established Nika when people was creating all these theories about the Sun Wukong devil fruit, I was like, instead of being a Sun Wukong, why not just be Nika, right? Because the Nika is probably based off of the Sun Wukong, so why not just have a Nika devil fruit instead of a Sun Wukong or a Hanuman devil fruit? Yeah, so Stan says this scene with Orochi is like a parallel to Odin boiling in the oil while holding the scabbards, but in this case, what with Orochi, he is under the rubble burning from Kanjuro. However, unlike Odin, Orochi is scared. Yeah, I can vaguely see a similar. You know, I think the point of Odin's, his execution was more the symbolism of the fact that he pretty much held up his scabbards, right? Like he was holding them up in order to save them so they could continue to live. You know, but I guess you could make some type of symbol out of that though. Orochi just kind of in a messed up situation though. Cube says, fun fact, the chapter where Nightmare Luffy appeared was called Hero of Liberation, and this one is Warrior of Liberation. Cube says, don't know about Bluff. I've been saying for a while that Gear 5 will be awakening. Well, let me finish what you're saying. You said, ever since we found out that Devil Fruit Awakenings have sell drawbacks as gear, same drawbacks as gear, same drawbacks. I mean, my theory on Gear 5 was more of along the line as Luffy awakening his Devil Fruit first, and then the awakening pretty much gives him the ability to use Gear 5, right? Because maybe his awakening gives him a degree of mastery over his Devil Fruit that allows him to create a new gear. You know, that's always been my theory. You know, now I didn't think it was the Sun Wukong though, or the Nika, right? I didn't think it was I thought it was still working under the same premise of the Gummo Gummo no Mi. You know, the rubber abilities, the rubber aspect of it. Shane says, want to know, will Luffy have a hybrid form as well? Maybe we've been seeing his hybrid form. I don't know. I think it's a very unique zones, so I don't know if it even needs a hybrid form. Yeah, I don't even know if it would need it, right? So let's continue, guys. Let's continue. So we got Kaido pretty much flying around inside the dome, right? And then you could kind of see like the radiation of what looks to be like Conqueror's Haki, right? It's radiating from the top of the dome. And we see Hyogoro, you know, he pretty much says, huh? You know, and we get like a whole bunch of, so it was Conqueror's Haki, right? Because we see a whole bunch of Kaido's men passing out, right? And Kaido says, what is it, men? And he looks surprised. He said, what is up there on the roof? You know something? What I'm really liking about this chapter? What I like about this chapter, right, so far is this whole time we pretty much get this reveal, right? We get the reveal of Luffy's Devil Fruit. You know, like early as like the first couple pages, it says, yeah, he has the Nika Devil Fruit. But we still, like, we're about like 10 pages in, 10, 11 pages, and we still haven't even seen Luffy's transformation yet. This whole time it's been, so far we just been getting all this hype. We started with like, I'm going back a little, guys, we start from last chapter when we get Zoe saying Joy Boy is here. And then everybody's saying like Luffy's alive, right? We get the confirmation that Luffy's alive. And then we get the Gorosei talking about the Nika Devil Fruit, you know, like or the Gummo Gummo no Mi really being the zone type human fruit, mythical type model Nika, right? And then we get Gear 5th. We still have not even seen this whole Sun God Nika form of Luffy. We still haven't seen it. We know what the devil fruit is. We know that Luffy's alive and that, it's something to do with Joy Boy. And we also know he has Gear 5th now. And we still don't even know what this man looked like. This is wild. All right. Let me take a breath, guys. Let me take a breath. Let me take a breath. It's hard to contain myself right now. It's hard to contain myself. Shane Burns said, I rap and love anime. Just a little plug in there. Let's network together. I'm following you on there, Bluff. What you talking about? You're following me on where? All right, let's continue, y'all. Let's continue. Let me know what you're talking about, Shane. Oh man, I just turned to the next page and I just see some wild stuff that is like. I just see. Why I turn the page and I see this big arm grabbing Kaido. It's like the size of Gear 3rd. Gear 3rd. Man, I seen this big ass hand grabbing Kaido, man. Wow. I had to turn back because I was about to mark out a little bit too much. All right, let me go back. Gotta contain myself. All right. So all right, we still see this Conqueror's Haki radiating from the roof, and then we see a bunch of fodder passing out. They say, "Hey, what's wrong? Is that Supreme King Haki? Where is it coming from?" And then we see Kaido flying around, and we see this big arm. Like now we know how big Kaido is in his dragon form, and this arm is like as big as Kaido. Dang, right? And then we see Law, Kid, and Kid says, Straw Hat. Chopper says, is that Luffy? With tears coming out his head. We see kind of not like the full-on reveal, but we get like a glimpse of his face, and we see Luffy smiling with like the blobbiness just going over his face. And we see Kaido getting pulled up, right? Pulled up to the roof. And his eyes look like they popping out like a goddamn cartoon. And we get to the top of the roof and we see Luffy pretty much pulling Kaido back up to the top of the roof, right? And we kind of get a glimpse of his body. It looked like we get the fire around him, kind of like when he's in Snake Man form or Bounce Man form. Shane says TikTok. Oh yeah, I'm hardly ever on TikTok, man. My bad, Shane. I got a TikTok. I'm just never really on it, right? I'm not really much of a TikToker. Angel's Room said, calm down, Bluff. Oh my goodness. It's too much craziness going on right now. I can't contain myself. All right. So, Luffy looked like he pretty much kind of got Kaido's body like wrapped around him, right? And then in the other arm, he's just flexing. And he got like this weird looking cartoonish face, right? Even for One Piece standards. And he's laughing. And now we see Luffy just spinning Kaido around. Kind of like when we see Big Mom spinning Queen around back in Udon, if you guys remember that. And Luffy pretty much has Kaido, and he looked like he's about to like powerbomb him, right? And he's like slamming Kaido around, kind of like slam like a hammer, just slamming him around. Now I don't really know what's going on just yet in this panel, but I know I see Kaido look like his head is getting. Also, this is part of. I guess this is Luffy slamming Kaido around. We just get a close up of Kaido's face slamming, and we get Luffy just having a ball, just laughing, and Kaido says, "Straw Hat, you survive. Thank you." And we see Kaido with a blast breath. Luffy like falls back laughing, and it looks like the blast breath kind of like stops, right? And we see Luffy's eyes popping out, and he grabs the ground. Luffy grabs the ground like it's rubber or something, and pulls it. Right, he pulls it up, and he kind of he pulls it up and stops the blast. Right, he pulls it up, stops the blast, and then he says go. Right, he says go, and we see Kaido still black. He's still with his dragon breath, but he's like shocked, like what's going on, right? So Luffy's kind of looking. Luffy out here using cartoon force out here. He got like Bugs Bunny abilities right now. And then we get Gear 5, and then Luffy laughing. We get the full reveal of Gear 5. Sun God Nika Luffy, and Kaido says, "I'm sorry about that idiot earlier. I didn't want to win that way." And Luffy says, "Don't sweat it. Let's finish this up." And then that's the chapter. That is the chapter. Oh, man. All right, y'all. Let me. Man, that was a lot of stuff going on, guys. It was a lot. It was a lot. It's like I expended so much energy on that right now, man. Like, it's kind of like when you found somebody late at the club and y'all have y'all little fun times, and it was just probably some of the best you've ever had, and now you just spent, right? Like you did your due, and now it's just like, you had that climax, and then you just like, you just like, like if y'all ever seen South Park, right? And you got Stan Marsh, not Stan, what's his name? Stan's dad. Randy Marsh. It was that if y'all ever watch one South Park, it was an episode on South Park where they lost the internet, and then you got Randy. He was just trying to use the computer to go look at some naughty things, and then he snuck into the the little computer room that they had at this camp, and they found him in there, and you just see all this DNA, this man DNA everywhere. Like that's I feel like Randy Marsh at that moment right now. Oh man, bro, I don't know what's better, man. I don't know what's better, because last chapter ended well, but this chapter was just it pretty much last chapter, end of last chapter, but a whole chapter, right? A whole freaking chapter. Let me read what you guys are saying, man. Shane says, Luffy, in the future, I can see gigantification happening from imagining it. Also can he use his powers to make the rest of his crew giants? Something to consider in the future. I don't know if he could just make giants. I don't think that's part of his ability. I mean, he can expand himself, so he can get bigger. Yeah, he can. I don't know if he can make other people bigger though. Even through awakening, I don't know. Or like Uh, Stan says, actually, if you go back, you can see that Luffy did the exact same things, same thing to Oars, like the exact same thing. He was spinning him and throwing him. It's the same with Kaido. Yeah. Well, I brought up Big Mom doing that to Queen because that was the same arc. Like it was something you don't have to go all the way back to a whole nother arc, you know. Shane says Luffy is Jim Carrey from The Mask. Yeah, man. Like, and that's why I'm saying like maybe it's like he got cartoon force right now. That's wild, man. Like cartoon force is some OP stuff, right? Like Bugs Bunny and stuff. That's wild. Angel's Room said he's blast went back towards Kaido because of the rubber. That's why Kaido looked surprised. Yeah, he turned the ground to rubber, blocked the attack, and returned it back to Kaido. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, he turned the ground to rubber. So a lot of people saying, "Yo, I don't think we're gonna get like a rubber house for Luffy, right? Like a big rubber house where stuff. It's looking like that could happen, actually." Man. But okay, so let's kind of talk about expectations versus what we got, right? Let's talk about expectations versus what we got. Now, there's a lot of people who believe there was like Luffy was resin, right? Like his ability, his devil fruit awakening was resin. Now, that's not necessarily the case, right? I still think there's a resin component to it though, and not necessarily resin, because a lot of people were saying resin, but when you think of rubber, right? It could be pretty much melted to be like resin, or if you look at rubber in its purest form, it's still like resin, right? So having resin abilities isn't far-fetched from rubber. It still makes sense for him to be able to do stuff at that level without it being a resin devil fruit, right? Now we could talk about the whole possession aspect. One thing that I kind of the theory that I believe, right? And I still personally don't think I was wrong about that, right? I don't think I was wrong about that. I don't think it was a possession in the sense of where we seen like Joy Boy take over Luffy's body and remain in it for a while. But I do think like Joy Boy, which, you know, if we're looking at Joy Boy and Nika being like Joy Boy being Nika, right? Or Nika be a Joy Boy, or however you want to look at it, them being the same entity, right? I think Luffy was still dead, right? And I think what brought him back to life was Joy Boy, the soul of Joy Boy. That might have been in the Devil Fruit, or Nika, I guess you could say, but Zoe specifically said Joy Boy, right? Even though the Devil Fruit is the Nika Devil Fruit, Zoe still said Joy Boy returned. So I think Joy Boy brought Luffy back. But again, Joy Boy and Luffy could kind of be looked at as synonymous. But yeah, so I mean, but it was still Luffy though. Ultimately, it was still Luffy. You know, he still had his whereabouts. He was a little different personality wise, kind of like what Angel's Room and a couple other people said. Personality wise, he's, you know, that's why I think it was more like Joy Boy's. I believe what it was, right? Like Joy Boy's soul lived within Luffy. And when he died, the Joy Boy within Luffy awakened and brought Luffy back, right? So it wasn't necessarily a possession to where it was like Hakuba, right? Like Hakuba or I don't know, whoever you want to say, but I still look at it as a possession. Like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I still look at it as a possession because his personality is still different, right? His personality is still different, and I do believe influenced by the will of Joy Boy, right? Kind of like when you look at when we go back to Thriller Bark and we look at Nightmare Luffy, those were possessions. That's why Luffy's personality changed, because he had other personalities possessing his body, which made him a lot darker. In this case, I still believe it to be a possession, in the sense where is Joy Boy's will and his soul influencing Luffy's soul and personality, right? But it's still Luffy in charge of the body. It's not Joy Boy. Joy Boy's not driving the ship, So in that way, it's not that type of possession. But I do believe Joy Boy's soul is pretty much within Luffy. I think that's how Luffy pretty much came back. That's pretty much how he came back. With Joy Boy's soul pretty much entering his body, or awakening, I guess. Joy Boy's soul awakening, if that makes sense. What are you guys saying, though? Stan says, yeah, he turned the ground to rubber, blocked the attack, and returned it back to Kaido. Yeah, good call, guys. Good call. Elis said, Gear 5th, Sun God. How long ago have I been saying Luffy would have a sun-based form with fire hair? I mean, you did say it, man. You did say it. Matter of fact, let's do something real quick. Let's do something, guys. Let me try something. You guys gonna have to give me a second. Can I not download this? I guess I can't download it. I'll try to work on it somewhere. Hey yo, Elis, you trying to, trying to hop in this, trying to hop in the stream. Angel Room said, notice how Kaido wasn't hurt from the blast. Yeah, he wasn't. Kaido's still pretty. Kaido's still pretty. In good shape, right? He's still in pretty good shape. And that's why I think Kaido was going to win that fight anyway, right? Like Luffy, I don't think had anything to finish Kaido off before this whole new upgrade. Shane says, Eliz, you were onto something, I believe, in the entire time. We all are off on where it is going, though, slightly. Yeah, everybody was a little off, but I think a lot of people kind of said something that was, something that was right to a degree. Everybody was right and wrong to a degree. But that's kind of the great thing about theories, right? Stan says, yeah, Kaido seems fine, like, god dang, he's on another level. He's a durability monster. Yeah. Angel Room said, I like how Luffy is also confused on how he's able to still move after getting by Kaido. Oh, and Luffy said he just lost, so I don't think he died anymore. Well, losing, you lose through death. So, I still think he died, honestly. If you die, you lost the fight, right? Just because you come back to life don't mean you didn't lose the fight. He said fun things that been going around is that in chapter 1, Luffy says he feels happier after eating the gum fruit. I never noticed that, but that's weird, That's interesting. And I now believe the title Joy Boy is given to the person who awakened the devil fruit. Yeah, I do believe it's Yeah. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's actually interesting. That actually has some merit to it. You know. So maybe again, it wasn't necessarily Joy Boy again. So I now I believe that the idea that devil fruits have souls within them, I believe that still has some merit to it, right? Like that devil fruits were made from previous people, right? Like they were made from people from the ancient kingdom, right? And if that's the case, something like the the Gummo Gummo no Mi or the Hito Hito no Mi. So okay, let me ask y'all something. What are we calling it now? Are we still calling it the Gummo Gummo no Mi, or are we calling it the Hito Hito no Mi type Nika? Right? Are we calling it the Nika Devil Fruit, or are we calling it the Gummo Gummo no Mi? That's what I want to know, right? Uh, that's what I want to know. What you guys calling it? What we calling it? Let me know in the chats if you're watching this like a lot later. Put it in the comments. Are we calling it the Gummo Gummo no Mi still? Or are we calling it the Nika Nika no Mi, or the Hito Hito no Mi Nika type? You know, like, so is Luffy for here on out going to be like all his name to text, instead of saying Gummo Gummo whatever? Is he going to be like Nika Nika? That might be a little too spicy though, man, because it kind of sounds like a different word, right? Sound like a different word. Um, but yeah, so like thinking about it, maybe Joy Boy wasn't indeed the name of the man back in the Void Century. Kind of based off of, like, especially what Angel's Room said. It could be the name of whoever awakens that Gummo Gummo no Mi, or the Nika Nika no Mi, whatever you want to name it, right? Whatever we want to name it. And if that's the case, the Joy Boy from the Ancient Kingdom, that might have just been Nika, right? That might have just been Nika. And maybe Nika possesses, maybe these souls possess these devil fruits, right? So when Luffy died, if he indeed died, like, because I'm still taking it as he died, because it seemed like he was dead, right? It awakened his devil fruit, which Nika pretty much brought him back to life, or possessed him, and then Luffy, like, pretty much Nika possessing Luffy, or his soul becoming one with Luffy, might have been what created Joy Boy, right? Like, Joy Boy might just be a possession of Nika, right? Where Nika becomes one with your spirit, and like, you become one with him. So it's two beings combining into one soul, something like that, right? Uh, Angel's Room said, "I'm going to send you something on Discord. Tell me your thoughts on it, Bluff." All right. Ela said, "Unfortunately, I'm not home, so I can't hop on the stream. In the official scan, or Angel's Room, that's cool if you can't. That's cool if you can't." Angel's Room said, "In the official scan, it says the devil fruit has the name of God, but in TCB scan, it says it has will of God. Wait, it Stan says, wait, it doesn't, and TB says it says the same like in the official. Yeah, I don't know what you talking about, Angel's Room. Stan says it says, and this one carries the name of God. Angel's Room, I'm looking at it right now, and it says will. I don't. What are you? What part are y'all talking about? Like what page? I'm not sure what page y'all talking about. Y'all gotta let me know the page y'all talking about. Bro, what I really liked about this chapter though, like one of my favorite things about this chapter is just the hype, man. Just the hype, bro. Like before we even actually get the whole reveal of Gear Fifth, Sun God Luffy or Nika, right? Gear Fifth Nika, or just Gear Fifth. It's just Gear Fifth, right? But when we got the reveal of the Devil Fruit and all that, like I want to know what Luffy looked like before Gear Fifth, right? Or does he just look normal? I'm confused, right? Like what does the normal awakening look like when he's not Gear Fifth? Kind of like what does Momonosuke look like 28-year-old Momonosuke look like outside of dragon, like in human form, right? Uh, Stan says it says all zone fruits have a will of their own, and this one carries the name of a god. We're comparing the official to the scans about the Gorosei talking about Luffy's devil fruit. Okay, so the Gorosei part, right? Let's look at what they said. They say, so we've lost an elite agent and made Kaido angry. What was the point? What if I told you there was a potential future that would make us big? I'm curious about what he said right there, but I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that. In every era, the world government has attempted to recover the Gumu Gumu fruit, and not once has it ever succeeded for 800 years. It had. It is as though the devil fruit is trying to escape our grasp. Zone. Okay, this part is what y'all talking about. I think zone fruits contain a will of their own, and the particular fruit has the name of a god. The other name of the gum fruit is the zone type. Yeah, I mean, I feel as though all zone. I mean, they would. I guess they did specifically say zone fruits contain a will of their own. So, I mean, maybe zones are unique in that sense, right? And so, if that's the case, then Luffy's pretty much have the will of a god, right? Let's kind of talk about the Gorosei part, man. Let's talk about the Gorosei part, though. Um, Stan says awakening is gear 5, so how Luffy looks now is what gear 5 is. I might even beg to say that awakening is like awakening might be any of the gears. Like you could probably say every gear is an awakening. You know, kind of like you could probably say all Chopper's forms are awakening. You know, but let's talk about what the world government, what the Gorosei was talking about, right? Because they said some pretty interesting things. Uh, like the one guy says, "What if I told you that there was a potential future that would make us beg for this outcome?" That's an interesting statement. Like y'all don't find that interesting? Why is it interesting though? I feel as though that could be a clue. That could possibly be a clue for an ability, right? An ability this Gorosei member has. You know, like think about it. He says, "What if I told you that there was a potential future that would make us beg for this outcome?" Like, can he? Now, I could be seeing a lot into this, right? I could be seeing a lot into this. But what if he has some type of special level of future sight? or being able to predict. Like maybe he has a high level of future sight Haki where he can see far into the future. You know, maybe like Madam Shirley. Maybe Madam Shirley has like that level of like she can see into the future because of future sight Haki, right? Now maybe I'm just seeing maybe he just means as a case where it's like there's other outcomes that we could get that would be a lot worse than this, you know, and you know, like, you know, it's better to have Kaido as an enemy than for Luffy's Devil Fruit to awaken. You know, maybe that's just what he's saying, but it's like he says, "What if I told you that there was a potential future that would make us beg for this outcome?" Like he's talking about like there's multiple futures, you know, that he's aware of, that him specifically he's aware of these multiple different future. And one of the futures is pretty much like, you know, yeah, Kaido gets angry, but you know, the outcome is still better, right? So, you know, I find that interesting, right? I find that interesting that he made that statement. Cube said Luffy's eyes changed similar to Mihawk. Didn't notice that. Stan says he just named his gear Awakening Gear 5. I don't know. Because if Gear 5 is an awakening, then I would argue that all the other gears are awakening as well. But I don't think Gear 5 is necessarily an awakening. You know, Gear 5 specifically. Now, if all the gears are awakening, if you want to use that as an argument, then maybe I could agree with that. But I don't think it's just Gear 5. Cube said maybe there's a link with awakening. A link with eyes? Is that what you're talking about? Like someone's eyes compared to their awakening? Angel Room said, is he like Doctor Strange and see through time? Bro, I don't know. Stan says the Gorosei is basically saying that this situation is better than the alternative. I think you are reading too much into it, and I get that. That could be the case, but I don't know. I think there could be more into it. You know, I could be looking too much into it, but you could also be just brushing off something that could be a clue. You know, because the way he said it, you know, he could have said, what if I told you that, you know, this is the best outcome we could possibly get. Like he could have said something like that, right? But he was just like, what if I told you? Like it was just like a matter of fact. Like I got that. Like there's something I know and understand more than you guys, because anybody could say like this is the best outcome, you know, that we could get out of the situation. Anybody could say that, but it's like he knows something more than everybody else, you know, to say that. What if I told you that there was a potential future? You know, like it's almost like he's talking about potential futures, like he could read the future, you know. How he said it, because he could have said it other ways that could have just been like, hey, you know, this might just be the best alternative, right? He could have said that, but I don't know. You know. And then I also want to talk about, in every era, the world government has attempted to recover the gum fruit. And not once has it ever succeeded for 800 years. It is though the devil fruit is trying to escape our grasp, and it very might be Zone fruits contain a will of their own, and this particular fruit has the name of a god, the other name of. Bro, I think there is a lot to unpack right there. Right, there's a lot to unpack right there. First we get is the world government been trying to get the Gummo Gummo no Mi forever, right? Forever. They failed for 800 years to get the Gummo Gummo no Mi. They failed, and then that takes us back to, I guess you could say, the most recent failure, right? When Shanks pretty much took the devil fruit from Who's Who, right? From the ship that Who's Who was guarding. You know, so it leads to believe that Shanks definitely knew a lot about the specialness of this devil fruit. Which, again, there's plenty of people who pretty much speculated that Shanks knew that the Gummo Gummo no Mi was special. But then that leads to believe, how did Shanks know, right? How did Shanks know? You know, like, did Roger tell him about it? Right? Like maybe Roger learned the secret when he went to Laugh-To and found the One Piece. Maybe he learned the secret, told all his crew about the Gummo Gummo no Mi, right? Maybe he told them if they ever find it, keep it, right? Keep it, And then what they say, right? What they say is, though devil fruit is trying to escape our grasp, and it very might well be. And then after that they say the devil fruits have a will of its own, which is wild. Like, you think, like, how can a devil fruit, like, okay, they say it has a will of its own. Cool. It has a will. So that means if it wants to stay away from the royal government, especially being the Nika devil fruit, so I could see why, if a devil fruit has its own will, why it would want to stay away from the people, people like the world government, the oppressors, How can a devil fruit, pretty much evade the world government so much, right? And that kind of made me believe, did Shanks specifically know about the Gummo Gummo no Mi, or was he per se following the will of the Gummo Gummo no Mi? Like, was he following its will? Was the devil fruit calling out to Shanks, kind of like how Luffy was calling out to Law's crew when he was underwater? You know what I'm saying? When he was underwater, Luffy called out to Law's crew, and he also called out the Momonosuke. Was the Gummo Gummo no Mi calling out to Shanks? Like, maybe Shanks didn't understand the importance of the Gummo Gummo no Mi. Maybe it was calling out to Shanks. You know what I'm saying? Maybe since it has its own will being also considered haki, and we talk about the voice of all things, we talk about how the voice of all things could be a combination of each of the hakis, or at least two of them possibly. And we see that with through the voice of all things. Well, we don't really know how it fully works, but we know that Luffy has the voice of all things, and all the other versions of haki. He's able to somehow call out the people, right? He's able to call out the people. So, could a devil fruit call out the people? Is it necessarily Luffy that was calling out the people, or is it the devil fruit that's calling out the people? The devil fruit, I mean, I like to attribute that to the voice of all things, but in the case with Shanks, I would probably even go off to say that the devil fruit might have called out to Shanks, and maybe it's not Shanks knowing the importance of the devil fruit. I mean, how would Shanks know the importance of the Gummo Gummo no Mi? I'm pretty sure there's a way. I'm not saying he can't learn about it, but how did he find out? Right? How did he find out that, especially of a secret of that level, to where, like, the Gorosei not many people know. It's not like common knowledge of Luffy's devil fruit. It's a secret that they've been trying to keep out. So that would lead me to believe that Shanks had access to some major information, right? Maybe that was during his time with Goldie Roger. Maybe that was him being a Yonko and having access to it. But I don't know how widely known the secret to the Gummo Gummo no Mi is. I mean, all we knew was Gorosei knew. The Gorosei knew about it. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Angel's Room said, but he says potential. We're potential about what? You gotta I don't know what you're talking about. Can you please read what I send you and tell me your thoughts? All right, man. Give me a second. I'll check it out when I'm done reading these chats. Q said, I think it's an awakening of observation haki, but for awareness, since FS is the cognition aspect of observation haki. I think it's an awakening of observation haki, but for awareness, since aspect. Yeah. I'm confused. I'm confused what you talk about, Cube. You're going to have to remind me. Stan says, also, CP0 is trash. The Gorosei said they lost an elite agent. So you are trying to tell me that he is one of your best agents and he still gets 2v1 by Izo. Yeah, CP0 is weak. I wouldn't say CP0 is weak. It's just maybe Izo is just better. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Izo is just that tough, right? And then he lost to Kaido. I mean, it's not like, I don't know if I say he's weak, And it's not like he didn't get beat by Izo. He was able to lead that fight, and Izo was pretty much the person on the ground by the end of it. And he went to go join the fight with Kaido and Luffy. I don't know if I'll say they're weak though. At this point, I don't think CP0 is going to be as big of a threat as CP9 was in the pre-time skip. Like I don't see CP0, because then it would just be kind of a rehash, right? It'd be kind of a rehash. Like they don't need to be a big threat to the Straw Hats at this point. Because you gotta look at it. What? Like you gotta look. If Rob Lucci if let's say he grew his power skill. Let's say he got strong at the same rate as Luffy. And he's, I would say if he's as strong as Luffy right now, he seems like he might be the leader of CP0. So everybody else below him will probably be a little weaker than Luffy, I would think. But I don't know. Angel Room said, I think Joy Boy was the user of the Hito Mi no Mi model Nika, and the 100 years of erased history is when it lost its original name. Yeah, I could see Joy Boy possibly being the at least the Joy Boy that we know, because again, Joy Boy could just be a code name, right? But yeah, I don't know. Maybe the original Joy Boy, I guess, if you wouldn't go by that. Angel's Room said, I don't think he was the creator of the fruit, though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who were the devil fruit. Again, I think, I don't know if I'll say the creator, because I think devil fruits are created by actual people, right? People who've reached some level of awakening and learn to create abilities with their Haki, right? Learn to create devil fruit abilities with their Haki, and then they might have died, and their their life was probably put into these devil fruits, something along that line. Like I don't know yet though. I don't know. So maybe Sun God Nika, the original Joy Boy, possibly, or maybe Joy Boy was the first person who had the Sun God Nika devil fruit. Stan says not just this fruit, but all zones. If you look back at Enies Lobby, the weapon that have eaten fruits acted on their own, like that sword that ate an elephant, devil fruit. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and that's kind of my point, right? Like a lot of people were talking when I talk about the possession point, right? I think the will of the devil fruit possessed Luffy. That's kind of what I mean. I think the will of the devil fruit possessed him to at least it possessed him in order to resuscitate him. You know, and then it's because again they have their own wills. So when the user of their devil fruit is alive, I think their will is pretty much in unison with that person's will. But if let's say it's an animate object, then the will of the devil fruit pretty much possesses the sword. It's in full control of the sword, But with somebody who has their own will, the devil fruit kind of my theory on it, my speculation on how it works is the will of the devil fruit pretty much works in conjunction with the will of the person. When Luffy died, I think the will of the devil fruit took over to bring him back to life, and then once Luffy's will came back, I think it's something along that line, right? Angel's Room said, and since Zunisha only recognized Joy Boy for the drums of liberation. I don't think he was the creator, and since I don't remember what thought you're continuing. Cube says, I think if Devil Fruit calls out, it could mean that there's some sort of cycle. It could explain how the three Admiral have their Devil Fruit. If it could mean that there's some sort of cycle. I think if a devil fruit calls out, it could mean that. Yeah, I don't know what the cycle has to do with anything, but I just think devil fruits can call out, right? Like I think they might not do it, but it's like the Sun God Nika being such a unique and special devil fruit, being from Sun God Nika, right? Maybe anytime it was under government control, it called out to somebody who had a friendly will or had a will of somebody who they trust more to have it, I guess. And so in order to fulfill a certain fate, it has to call out to certain people. And I think that's kind of what it did to Shanks, possibly, right? Because how did Gorosei, because the Gorosei specifically says, it is as though the devil fruit is trying to escape our grasp. And then they says, and it very well might be. And then they talk about the will of the devil fruit. If that's the case, if the devil fruit is trying to escape their grasp, how when the government has the devil fruit, how does the devil fruit escape their grasp? Like how do it actively, consciously escape the world government's grasp? Maybe call out to somebody else that they trust more, right? Someone else possibly being Shanks, or maybe Shanks just happened to be close. I don't know. Either that or maybe Shanks knew about it. I don't know. Maybe Shanks did know about it. Angel Room said, make me think that there were probably multiple Joy Boys during the century. One was the Roger who laid the foundation. The other was the Luffy who fell. Or yeah, not necessarily Luffy, but you could say the other Joy Boy who fell. Yeah, I mean, I've said that. I've said that a few times. I think Joy Boy could have been like a code name for people, right? It's like each Joy Boy, like you had the Joy Boys who failed, then you had the Joy Boys who they were too early, right? Like they were either too early or too late. Like Roger was too early, you know. He was like 20 years too early. There might be some Joy Boys who come about too late. Maybe they're a couple years too late. Maybe there's some Joy Boys who they're around at the right time, but they fail. Maybe Luffy is going to be the Joy Boy that succeeds. You know. Cube says, talking about the Mihawk emu eyes, I feel that you've access to it when you've got an advanced version of awareness. Mihawk basically uses more awareness than precognition. Yeah, I've said that. I've said that Mihawk probably has an advanced form of Haki. The fact that Luffy assists as he awakens shows that some sort of awakening can give you access to it. Hence, they control their devil fruit cycle. Like Tama's devil fruit being still at after 800. I don't agree. I don't think that. I don't think that those eyes have anything to do with devil fruits. I think, and I don't think Luffy necessarily has those eyes. He might have had it like for a yeah. Like I don't think those are the same eyes as Mihawk. You know, like they're not. And Mihawk's eyes are permanent. They're always like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Mihawk activates them. You know, like there's people that has had them at some point, like Cavendish. I don't think Cavendish has those eyes. I think Oda gave him those eyes at that specific moment to convey what he was going through at the time. But it's like if you look at Cavendish any other time, his eyes don't look like that. Even when you look at Hakuba doesn't even have pupils. His eyes are just white. You know. So this, I don't think those are the same eyes as Mihawk. Those are just, maybe meant to convey, um, you know, and maybe they are. I don't know. They don't necessarily look like Mihawk's eyes though. I mean, they do have extra ring, but not in the same way as Mihawk. I would say. Let me check this Discord, man, before Angel's Room come beat me up or something. Cause I'm sitting here talking about the dang on thing. He says with the cover story being Yonji and Niji being operated on, Sanji waking up sensing Luffy, Luffy's devil fruit really being a human mythical zone, fire attributed to both, Luffy having swirly eyebrows at the end. This chapter highlights that Judge was trying to make humans with devil fruit powers. I mean, I think that's always been kind of established though. I mean, I feel as though that's always kind of been the thing, you know. And I don't know if he's necessarily trying to make people with devil fruit abilities, but he's always tried to make people with special abilities, right? And devil fruits have a lot in common with swirls, right? With swirly stuff. Devil, the swirl stuff in general. Like, well, we just did a reaction stream not that long ago about how swirls are. I think Threevil. I think it was from Threevil, right? It was either Threevil, Best Gen, or I think it was Best Gen. It might have been Best Gen though. We was talking about the importance of swirls, right? And abilities. So I think it's always been the importance to those swirls and abilities, and like devil fruits. You see the swirls. Yeah, I mean, I don't. You you really wanted me to see that. But yeah, so um Cube said, hence they control their devil fruit cycle, like Thomas devil fruit being still at after 800 years ago. If it was the devil fruit that punished Zunisha, if devil fruits can control who they are consummated by, I don't know. I don't really know where you're going with this whole cycle thing. I don't think people could control the cycle of their devil fruits. I think I think I don't think it's a cycle thing. I think, the devil fruit might be able to control its cycle, but Cube says nope, the eyes are access to it with some sort of awakening. I mean, future sight is an awakening type of move. The ring pattern is similar, that's why. The eyes are access to it with some sort of awakening. I mean, I've talked about eyes plenty of times. Yes, I believe it's something about awakening, but again, I don't think those eye like I don't think every case of those eyes mean you know like again like with Hakuba that was a struggle they was fighting and he had those same eyes, but it's not like I don't think Hakuba was awakening anything special, right? I mean, maybe other than him getting control of Hakuba, like Cavendish, you know. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't because I don't really see Luffy's eyes as the same eyes that Mihawk have, right? Let me see. Let me let me look. Let me look at Mihawk's eyes. Angel's Room said, didn't Oda draw Mihawk kid would look like, and he had the same eyes. Yeah, I think Mihawk's a special case. I think Mihawk's might be more of a bloodline type thing. And I do believe that maybe I do believe that those eyes are associated with awakening. You know, it's just again, I gotta see more of this version of Luffy before I go off saying those eyes or anything. Like, are they always like that? And let me look up Mihawk real quick, yo. Mihawk eyes. Yeah, they're not really the same. They're not the same eyes, man. They're not the same eyes, bro. They're really not. Yeah, those aren't the same eyes as Mihawk, bro. Like, look, go search Mihawk. You know, like, hold on, let me try to compare. Luffy has okay. Luffy has three. He has a black circle, right, and then he has a white circle within that black. Like he has like three levels. Mihawk has like yeah, they're not the same. Like I'm trying yeah, they not the same. I'm sorry, they not the same. Yeah, they not. Like you just gotta go look at it. They not the same, bro. They not the same as Luffy. They not the same as Mihawks or Eames. And okay, let me try to I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to I want to do this without showing my mm, window capture. Oh, no, I didn't mean that now. I didn't mean that now. Sorry guys, I just want to bring cause you really trying to you really trying to connect Mihawk eyes and Luffy eyes, but they just not the same. They not the same eyes. Is what I'm saying. Uh, all right, yeah, I'm a try not to have this whole panel up here. I don't want to get no copyright strikes, y'all. All right, so right here we got Luffy's eyes, right? We got the Mihawk the eyes you're trying to compare to Mihawk, right? And then let's pull up another window. Let's pull up another window here real quick, guys. Window capture. All right. Where is it? Where is it? Y'all work with me. I know it's not the same. All right, cool. Now that's what I want. All right, let me look up Mihawk eyes so we could get a more in depth look at this. Right? Let's because you keep talking about these eyes, man. So I'm like, if you want to talk about these eyes, let's talk about these eyes, man. Let's talk about these eyes. This is a perfect close up, right? Right. So let's look at Luffy eyes, Mihawk eyes. We sit here talking about eyes, man. We talking about these eyes. All right, so we got the we got the center spot, right? The center black spot. That's right there. Luffy got one, Mihawk got one. And then he has a yellow ring after that. Luffy has a white ring after that. And then Mihawk has another black ring. Luffy has a final black ring. And then Mihawk has another yellow ring. Luffy has no more rings. And then Mihawk has another black ring. And then he has the white around his eyes. Luffy has, you could say Luffy has about two rings in a circle. Mihawk has about 4 rings in a circle. It's pretty much is what I'm saying. So I mean the eyes are a bit different. Was my point. All right. So yeah. So I hope we cleared that up. I hope we cleared the rings up, the eyes. Q said, nope, the eyes are access to it with some sort of awakening. I mean, Future Sight is an awakening type of move. The ring pattern is similar, that's why. I mean, they're different. Angel Room said, didn't Oda draw Mihawk Q? Yeah, I read that part. Elson Jackson said, my guy, sorry I'm watching from a bit back. Great stuff here. It's all good, brother. Welcome to the chat, though, man. Welcome to the chat. Glad you could make it, man. Glad you could make it. Angel Room said, my kid, son, so probably just a lineage thing. Yeah, I think it might be a lineage thing, you know. Either that or it could be awakening thing, but it has to be like by somebody super disciplined. But I think it might be a lineage as well. And Angel Room said they all have 2 rings. Luffy only has 1. Exactly. That's pretty much what I was trying. That's pretty much what I'm trying to tell Q. It's a different eye. Elson Jacketus said there was definitely emphasis on his eyes and brows this chapter. And again, you know, I'm just saying it's not the same eye as Mihawk. So there could be emphasis, but it doesn't. It's not the same. It's not the same situation as Mihawk's situation is, right? So, but y'all, it's a good chapter, man. It's a good chapter. I don't even know what a lot of great moments. You know, we pretty much got some things confirmed, right? I don't really know what's going to happen with Orochi. I don't think he's fully out of the game just yet. Right? So I would probably say my initial thought though about as far as the possession, you know, I was wrong. You know, I don't know if I would say I was 100. I don't think I was 100% wrong, but I still think there is something to it, right? Because I do believe Luffy was dead, and you know, I don't think just simply like I believe if anybody else, let's say if Law died and he awakened his devil fruit, I don't think he would come back to life. Now the question is, was Luffy dead, right? Was Luffy in fact dead? That's the question. If you don't believe he died, then I could understand why you don't believe it's a possession, you know. And again, I'm not gonna argue because we don't know. We don't know yet. You know, it's just based off if you think he's dead or not, right? I thought he was dead. I think a lot of people believe Luffy was dead. I think there's some little hints of him being dead. And my question is, if he was indeed dead, how does he come back to life? How does he come back to life? You know, I think like a possession makes sense as far as like And again, it doesn't have to necessarily be the possession in the traditional sense to where it's like Naruto being possessed by the Kurama, the Nine Tails, to where he just kind of lose all control. You know, I was, yeah, we didn't see Joy Boy in control of Luffy's body, so I was wrong on that aspect. I was wrong on that aspect, but I do think the will of Joy Boy pretty much resuscitated Luffy. If at the very least, I'm still kind of thinking that's how Luffy was resuscitated. It was through the will of Joy Boy, which probably lived within the Devil Fruit. The Ito Ito no Mi Sun God Nika Devil Fruit, or Nika, right? Uh Angel's Room said probably not the same level. I think you're talking about the eyes. You said might even surpass Luffy. I don't think so. I think if you're talking about right now, I would probably disagree because again, oh, if Oda is going to when Mihawk, when we see Mihawk go all out, right, and he wants to introduce the eye concept of a Mihawk, it would I think it would be underwhelming if his eyes are introduced as inferior versions of what Luffy pretty much awakened. You know, I don't think that eye is anything though. I don't think he, you know, like could it mean like he's awakened a higher level of hockey possibly? Doesn't mean he's higher awakened higher he's awakened a higher level than Mihawk. I don't know, because you gotta also look at it like this. Mihawk always has his activated, right? Like his is permanent. For Luffy, this might be something where he can't maintain for long periods of time, And if that's the case, that means he doesn't have it mastered as well as Mihawk. Uh, Elson Jackets has said will of its own, so it's Sign Luffy eyes are the eyes of a god. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I mean I don't know. I think y'all might be looking a little too much into the eyes, but you know, who knows? Who knows? There could be, eyes in general could be a bigger thing in One Piece. I mean, I think, I definitely do think there's something to those Mihawk eyes specifically because, Oda has made it a point to emphasize his eyes, right? Like Mihawk specifically. And even to a degree, Eam, right? We got a close up of Eam's eyes and how much they look just like Mihawk's. Elson Jackets has said probably cohabitating. Yeah, and I think that's with all devil fruits. I think all devil fruits there's a level of possession. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't want to say that, but seeing how Nika has probably a strong will, right? He probably had, so his will is probably strong enough to revive Luffy. Angel's Room said Luffy just said he reached his peak Gear 5, so it's probably just him with a burst of energy. Yeah. Again, because we seen Hakuba, right? Hakuba had those eyes. But in that sense, it was more of a fight for control between Hakuba and Cavendish. Because every other time we see Cavendish, he never has those eyes. Any other time we see Hakuba, he didn't have those eyes, in some cases, I think Oda gives those eyes to people to showcase the situation. You know, aside from Eam and Mihawk, those two seem like those are more permanent. That's why I think with those, it's special with them because it's a more permanent fixture in their character. Like I think I've seen Zoro at times have like another ring in his eye. You know what I'm saying? I've seen like other characters have a additional ring within their eye, but it's not something personal. It's more of it's an artistic choice Oda does when he's trying to showcase a certain level of emotion or a certain situation. Like with Hakiba and Cavendish, I think it was that fight for control. You know, with Mihawk, those are kind of a staple things in his character, though. That's why I think they mean something more for Mihawk or with Mihawk and even Eam. You know, because I mean we haven't seen a lot of Eam, but the one close up we get of him, he has those eyes. Uh, Elson Jacket to say, yeah, my thoughts too. A grafting process, one with another. Angel's Room said even Shanks has one ring in his eye. Yeah, like that it might not have been Zoro, it might have been Shanks that I'm talking about. Yeah, I've seen Shanks with an additional ring in his eyes that he normally doesn't have when he's especially when he's pissed, right? I think that's just to showcase the emotion that, they're currently going through. And Luffy, like I said, Luffy doesn't have the same eyes, so I don't really know what that means. You know, if it was exactly like Mihawk's, then I could probably say maybe there is something more to it. But, I don't know. Uh Angel Room said in the serious Marine Force scene. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I forgot where it came from, but I do remember seeing it, right? I do remember seeing that ring. Uh Elson says, agreed, the eyes are associated with emotion responses. You know. And and again, like when you're super focused, right? I think that's what it I think a lot of time characters when they get super focused, I think Luffy had an extra ring when he punched the Celestial Dragon at one time. I think he had like right before he punched him, I think he had an extra ring. So I think when you get like characters and they're super focused, I think or they're angry, I think, that's when we usually get extra ring. In Mihawk's case, he's always focused. So maybe it's a art style as well. Maybe I look too deeply into it. But I think it would make sense for it to mean more for somebody like Mihawk. Yeah, Angel's Room said Angel Room said in every reanimation he has one ring. For Shanks when he uses Conqueror's Haki. Yeah. So again, I would kind of agree with Cube on that. Like when you have that eye, it might be connected with uh like Conqueror's Haki. Like maybe you activate it, but if you always have that eye, even when you're not activating Conqueror's Haki, you know, maybe it's an awakening type thing, right? But yeah, guys, this chapter was great, man. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know in the chat. Y'all let me know in the comments. Uh, Cause I want to know. I want to know your guys' thoughts. I really want to know your guys' thoughts on me doing my initial reaction to the chapter live, like I did today. Like if for everybody who missed it, I actually read the chapter on stream for the first time. It was my initial read through. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Is this something y'all want me to do? Continuing on like forward? Do y'all like this more, or do y'all like me being more prepared and having, do y'all like that more? Like which one? I kind of like it because now y'all actually see the excitement. Me first seeing it, right? I thought this was a great chapter to do a live reaction to. It was a lot going on. So, but yeah, y'all let me know in the comments, man. Y'all let me know in the comments. Angel's Room said he also has on a ring for his movie Red teaser. Yeah, man. I mean, again, yeah, man. Yeah, them eyes, man. Oh dang. See, I was about to wrap up, but now Eliz want to get home, man. Now Eliz want to get home. Oh yeah, I meant to show you guys something before we go. I meant to, So we're not gonna go because I meant to show you guys something. I just had to somehow get it on. Okay, yeah, this is what we gonna do. You guys give me a second. And Eliz, if you try and hop on, man, hop on the I could create a Discord or whatever, or I could create like a private Discord. I got one already. So sorry guys, I'm trying to pull up this okay. Yeah, I think I got an idea. First, let me come here. I want to show you guys something. I didn't fully watch it yet either because I didn't want to be spoiled. Bro, why can't I look at it? Give me a second, guys. Yeah, that's cool. You got on. You could get on. I could put your camera. I could put the your picture. Like you'll probably only get my voice though. But I can definitely get your face into the stream. But if you don't want to be on stream, you don't. Yeah. Well, I guess you deleted that thing you sent me, Eliz. Yeah, oh no, that's cool. That's fine as well. Uh, all right, y'all. We about to bring in Eliz to the stream in a little bit. I don't know if he's on just yet, but I'm going to. Let me. Missions. Add members. Sorry, guys. I'm about to we about to get Elids in here. I just gotta. Oh, you in? I didn't know you was able to.
I think I'm in.
You wanna show up on stream? Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. Give me a second. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you in. Bro, what's going on? What's going on with this? Oh, okay, that's why I couldn't see it. God damn. My bad. I'm trying to reshape this window and like I'm getting like a little pop up on my thing or not letting me reshape it. All right, yeah, we got you. All right, man. What's up, man?
Doing good. Just got home.
Hey,
Been hype ever since Friday. Well, actually, I read the chapter Thursday night. They had it out pretty early.
yeah. So everybody, welcome Elids to the stream. Um, yeah, man. He sent me a video earlier. I couldn't watch it because I didn't want to get spoiled on anything like inadvertently. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I didn't watch
My
it.
apologies for not checking with you first.
Nah, it's all good. I could. Well, before we look in, what you think about the chapter? While you tell me what you think about the chapter, I'm gonna try to bring in this other video. Like,
So, on one hand, overwhelmingly hype, but on the other hand, a little conflicted because this is actually something we talked about the last stream. I said I've been suspecting because of my theory about uh, devil fruits being the souls of people from the Void Century and the Ancient Kingdom and all that. So I've said ever since they introduced Sun God Nika and I've even just thought about it a little bit with the Gum Gum fruit that it could be Joy Boy. That could
yeah,
have been Joy Boy. But then was thinking, I'm conflicted because then it's like, does it mean that Luffy's just destined? Does it mean that the fruit gets more credit than Luffy as an individual? And all that stuff is still present, even though I'm hyped because I've been theorizing a lot of this. And it always feels good to see, something you theorize come to fruition. Now, did I get it 100% accurate? No, not at all. But I still got like a good chunk of it accurate.
yeah.
And I've been saying this like for so long. So
You
to see when you've been theorizing something for a long time and it comes to fruition, that feels really good because it's different than, a lot of people, more people have been theorizing like maybe Luffy is, had the Nika fruit. Well, a lot of people are saying that just because of last week's chapter or 2 weeks ago,
yeah.
and that's credit to anybody who could predict that. It's still good no matter what. But when you've been brewing a theory for like a year and a half and to see it like come to fruition, it's just there is a bit of a euphoria, like, ah, yes, we're very
Yeah, man.
gratified.
I
But
do I do remember you talking about like him having a sun god form and it wasn't that
mhm,
off. It wasn't that off.
yeah,
Like you also said a moon god as well, but you was looking at these as
hmm
more of like didn't you say it was gear fifth transformation? Which
yeah. So
hey, you did say let's I'm gonna
you're
play
gonna
the
see, yeah, play the clip. I don't know if it shows the date on the clip,
yeah, it was nah
June 21.
Dang, I don't see the date on it. But this was predictions for chapter 1019. So it was like July
Yeah.
11th. Yeah, so it was last
Yeah,
year. Yeah.
July 11th. So yeah, it was last year. It was months ago.
But
So what we say on there, I was trying to make the clip efficient, but before this clip started, I'm gonna let you know. You said you brought up the topic of possession. So
yeah,
even back then, you were talking about Nika and possession. So
yeah,
that's something you've been talking about for a long time, and I do think that is credible. That's something that you should definitely take credit for because I do think possession does play a role in this.
yeah,
Is Luffy 100% possessed? No, but is he influenced by the fruit? For sure.
yeah. Yeah, and that was kind of my point. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe I was 100% wrong in that assertion. I believe
Yeah.
I still think Luffy was dead. You know what I'm saying? I still think Luffy was dead, and I think him dying like was pretty much because that's when Zoe said Joy Boy is returned, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was like in a split second, it was like something brought Luffy back to life.
Mm-hmm.
Something external, not external in the sense where it came outward, but something external from his own will. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Something that's not his own will brought him back.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, we didn't get like actual Joy Boy talking through Luffy, right? We didn't get none of that. But
Yeah, I would argue you're more right than wrong because this isn't your typical. Even we've known all the way back in Enies Lobby that zones affect the user. It says if you have a predator zone, you're more vicious. But what Luffy's happening, it isn't just a slight tweak to his personality. Like he's clearly, it's like he's on a drug or something. He's clearly not the same Luffy we
no,
are
he's
used
not.
to. There's something a little extra going on with him.
He's definitely not. But let's watch this video just so we could, you know, because I want people to see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm about to play now. Hold on, let me unmute this. All right, play.
His soul can still do affect the world by possession, like you were saying. Maybe it possesses the Sunny, maybe it possesses Fisher Tiger, maybe it possesses Luffy in this fight against Kaido. Nika helps out Luffy a little bit, guides him in the right direction. May not give him a power boost, but lets him know how he could utilize his own power. So on the screen you can see he says Gear 4th Sunman. So I made this theory like months ago about what I think Luffy's next form will be. Well, since then, I've kind of revised and said it could be Gear 4 Sunman, or maybe it's called Gear 5th Sun God. Maybe the Gear 5th has, this god, that god, instead of Blank Man, Tank Man, Snake Man, Bound Man. It might be a god to represent, going to that next level. So, his soul can still affect the world.
All right.
Possession, like you were saying.
So yeah, man. Let me remove that out the way. All right, so yeah, like I don't believe I was that off,
Nah.
cause like I even broke it down. Like a lot of people, when I was saying possession, a lot of people get the idea that possessions only mean like somebody's in full control of your body, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
like you could be possessed with multiple people live, multiple souls within you,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? So like having another soul is a possession. Even if it's not in control, it's still like pretty
Mm-hmm.
much within you. It possesses you. And in this form, it wasn't
Yeah.
like like I was wrong in the aspect of, like I said, I was wrong in saying that, like thinking that Joy Boy was going to come out, acting through Luffy. Like it was going to be,
Yeah.
his personality has been influenced though, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so let me ask you something else. I kind of want to, cause there's something I noticed that was said in the chapter, and a lot of people might brush it off as like nothing, like but it was what the
Mm-hmm.
Gorosei said, right? Like one of them said
Yeah.
in I want to get the correct. I want to get the correct. I'm trying to find my. My bad, yo. I'm trying to find.
I don't remember verbatim, but I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's when the
It was
Gorosei
like, what if
says,
I told you a different future?
yeah. I'm thinking like that might be kind of like a little breadcrumb, right? A breadcrumb to
Hmm.
possibly knowing the Gorosei's abilities, right? You know,
Yeah.
like I think that maybe, you know, him specifically, maybe all the Gorosei have very, like, if they have devil fruit abilities, maybe they have some of the best devil fruits. Like they probably have some
Yeah.
ridiculous devil fruits, but maybe not like devil fruits you would think are as OP, but definitely are. Like like when we look at OP devil fruits, we're you usually look at stuff that are super destructive, like the Pika Pika no Mi, the Gora Gora no Mi, the
Hmm.
you know, Logia devil fruits, whatever.
Yeah.
But I could see maybe like maybe he has like a future telling devil fruit, or maybe it's just hockey, right? Maybe it's
Yeah.
maybe he just has a ridiculous level of observation hockey to where he can, you know, it's like is Katakuri's future sight hockey on 1,000, right? You know, but I like
Yeah.
to think maybe if it's a devil fruit, right? Maybe these Gorosei members have like one of them could have like mind control. One of them can have like a devil fruit ability
Yeah.
to sense different possibilities. So and that would also explain how the Gorosei has been able to maintain power, right? Like if you think about it,
Hmm.
if I could come up with multiple different scenarios, you know, kind of like pull a Doctor Strange or like, okay, here's all the different alternate timelines that can happen. You
Yeah.
know, like what do you think? Do you think it's just, you know, something that was just kind of like nothing?
Um, so at first I just saw it as like them being, super, I don't know, arrogant with a mix of like maybe they're just always crunching the numbers on things. So that's why they're just like saying a prediction. But when you brought it up, like, could this be foreshadow basically to his ability? When I thought about it from that lens, I was like, oh, I could see how as a writer you would put that line for that specific guy to say, and then when people look back, go, oh, so that's what he was really referring to. Um, what would it be? Would it be hockey or devil fruit? I see it could either be either one. It would either have to be something that's trained or ability that's granted. Um, if I had to lean towards one or the other, like maybe more devil fruit, because if it's something that's trained, then all the Gorosei would have access to that ability. And why would one Gorosei be asking the other like what, questioning and all that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Um, if it's a devil fruit specific thing, it could be like each time one of the Gorosei is like about to pass on, they make it so that the devil fruit, reincarnates to a fruit nearby and then feeds it to the next applicant or whatever. Not applicant, like you apply to be the Gorosei.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. The next in line.
Yeah.
I think I told you my theory that
Yeah.
I've
No.
been
No. I was kind of.
brewing. That they could all
Yeah.
be related. Each one is just the father of the next one.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I kind of think it was a possession. I think Joy Boy, you know, Joy Boy, like Nika, like maybe Nika, you
Hmm.
know, after he died, they pretty much he turned into a devil fruit somehow. Now, whether it's a process or something that can, when you bury people, maybe they turn to a fruit. I don't know. Like if you,
Hmm.
maybe like it was just this mass genocide on the ancient kingdom and they were buried in this one location where that's where the Adam, or maybe two locations where we get the Adam and Eve tree and creating each of their devil fruits, right? So maybe
Hmm.
Nika was among them, right? You know, like
Yeah.
that's kind of my look on it. But there's also another moment that stuck out to me that I kind of want your take on, and it was the same scene, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
they pretty much say in every era the government has attempted to recover the gum fruit, and not once has it ever succeeded for 800 years. It is as though the devil fruit is trying to escape our grasp, and it very might well might be, you know. Then he even says zone fruits contain a will of their own, and this particular fruit has the name of a god. The other name of the gum fruit, yeah. So like, did you get anything out of that? Because
Yeah. So what I think is that, first of all, devil fruit zones in particular are known to have much more of a consciousness than the Paramecia Logia. Although I think the Paramecia Logia can have a consciousness to a degree, but zones are a lot more lively. So could the devil fruit itself be somehow alluding? Like, it's one thing for the devil fruit to be eaten by a squirrel. Let's say a squirrel eats the devil fruit, and then, you know, Nika is manipulating the squirrel to evade the world government. That's one thing. But it's like the devil fruit itself seems to somehow be influencing like events. It is the devil fruit to blame for why Shanks and his crew got their hands on the Gum
bro, that's ultimately
That's what it's implied.
That's ultimately where I was kind of going with it, and I'm kind of glad you got that too, because I'm thinking like, because think of it like this, right? We know about the voice of all things and hockey, and devil fruits and hockey are very related. You know, you even and broke that down, right? You even broke that down, because some of my way of thinking is pretty much based on a lot of your explanation on hockey. Like sometimes I kind of use that as like a you know, how I come up with some of the theories, right? So we see how we talk about the voice of all things. Like me and you, we talked about it a bunch of times, right? Like how, you know, maybe, you know, like the voice of all things, from what I think, is what allowed Luffy to pretty much call out to Shanks, or not Shanks, no, my bad, to Law's crew, right?
Law's crew, yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know, that was probably a voice of all things thing, right? You know, maybe even a sun god Nika thing. I don't know. You know, maybe that could have been the devil fruit, right? The devil fruit. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna just say this, and I'll let you go. I'm thinking maybe devil fruits, you know, especially like, you know, since you said zones have wills of their own, right? And we talk about wills being also hockey. Maybe the devil fruit itself have voice of all things, or can do, you know, things similar, right? Maybe it called out the Shanks, pretty much. That's kind of why I wanted to go with that. But go ahead.
So, if you remember, one of the things I said to Best Generation, you know, I think your theory's great, and you brought in electromagnetic and light into the equation. But I told him there's another vibration and frequency-based thing that exists that applies, I believe, to Delta as well, and that's sound. So, here's the interesting thing about this fruit is the drums of liberation. You know, drums, a musical instrument, creates sound. Now, what at the beginning of this chapter was very present? Conqueror's Haki. And I have my understanding Haki part 3, the person on my thumbnail is Brook, because I believe that Brook's abilities aren't just Devfruit powers, but also Conqueror's Haki, because I believe Conqueror's Haki is linked to the throat chakra, and the element of the throat chakra is sound, and to an extent music. This is all stuff I go over understanding Haki. So this chapter really is very vindicating, not just the sun god stuff, but to a theory I care about even more is understanding Haki. It's just showing more evidence that Conqueror's Haki is linked to sound.
And you know what's funny?
So yeah,
you brought up Brook, it's kind of odd that like Brook pretty much had to die to awaken his devil fruit, and what we just see,
That's a
we
good
see
point.
Luffy pretty much had to die, or supposedly some people don't
Hmm.
believe it, but whether he did or don't, we don't know yet, right?
Hmm.
But we think he probably died, and then that's how it awakened, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, go ahead. I found that interesting.
No, that is a great point. I think Brook as a character is a huge. Uh, he is so important to this story. I would argue he's one of the most important Straw Hats because not only is he a Straw Hat, but his devil fruit and abilities tells you so much about how devil fruits and hockey work. In my understanding hockey, I gave each chakra a chapter except the throat chakra. I had to split that one into two because there was so much to cover. The first one was just about what we know about conquering hockey in general. The second one, it was really just about Brooke and Big Mom for the most part because there's so much to learn about the relationship between souls, devil fruit, hockey, and sound, and so forth. Let's talk about Zone Awakening. Zones are the first awakening we ever seen back in Impel Down. However, if you notice the
But is
Impel
it
Down
though?
jailers,
Is it?
well, it's the first one declared at least. That's
Because
more what I mean. The first one it said
I just asked that because I'm saying, could Chopper? I mean, the
Chopper,
ability to.
that's maybe that's a little different. That's more like messing with the devil fruit. I wouldn't say that's the
Yeah.
same thing as
All
awakening.
right. Okay. Yeah. I just was curious. I was curious. Go ahead.
But I think there's something to that because Chopper says his rumble fruits affects what? Frequency.
Yeah.
Oda's been saying this from all that kind of goes under the radar that Chopper's devil fruit is manipulated by frequencies. Like I don't think people are really putting together what that means. But I'm gonna talk about that in Understanding Hockey Part 4.
And that's
But
that's wild how you got two crewmates of the Straw Hats that pretty much could explain that explains
yeah, that's
Luffy
crazy.
and his devil fruit. You got Brook
Mm-hmm.
who pretty much died and awakened his
Mm-hmm.
devil fruit, right?
And music
He
related,
yeah, and then
drums of liberation.
you got Chopper who literally has the same devil fruit as Luffy, except his
Yep.
is just.
That's the that changes so much.
And when you look at all the gears, could they not be the same as Chopper's transformations? Similar, I guess.
That
Like
that is
work
very
similar,
similar.
except
I would argue
one's
yes.
kind of forced. Chopper forces it more so.
It's like it's what I think is King and Queen. I believe King's powers in his development are more spiritual based or hockey based, while Queen is someone who's more science based.
Mm.
And I believe that's a current recurring theme within One Piece. Um, you have Germa people who develop powers, but because of science. But then you have other people who develop powers just through, look at Zoro and his Ashura. Like there's two paths that can be taken. And I think what makes Vegapunk so special is I believe he's a scientist, but I believe he also has looked a lot into spirituality.
Yeah,
Again, I'm gonna go over all of that in
you could
understanding
probably say
hockey
that
part
about
four.
Sanji though, because Sanji has
Yeah.
like improved itself, but his body just naturally is because through science, even though it
Hmm.
took to now for that to actually happen, but
Yeah.
it was like
He's a combination of both.
he worked hard to get where he is, and then he all of a sudden gets unlocked. Let me read these chats real quick. Angel's
Yeah.
Room. He said Luffy just keeps on laughing. Influence world been a better word for you to use. Influence. He's saying influence instead of possession. No, I'm in possession. I'm in possession. I'm fine with using possession. Uh,
Hmm.
but it's 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 like the it's I can't really explain
Have
it.
you
It's
ever
hard to
seen
explain.
Shaman King?
Yeah.
It's like in Shaman King, like they always have the spirits enter their body. They call it spirit integrate. It's sort of
Mm,
possession, but not. It's not the
it
same thing as just like
integrates.
the exorcism.
Yeah.
It's similar. There is an incorporation. I think it's more like a melding of their soul.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people they question my chakra hockey theory, with the devil fruits being made from hockey, and they go, well, devil fruits are Haki. Why isn't anybody who has devil fruit just automatically have Haki? And it's like it's just a melding of their spirit. Whatever the devil fruit power or frequency contained enters their body, but it doesn't actually do it for them. They still have to do the work. That's what I think about, Luffy. A lot of people are gonna start to question Luffy's credibility. Like how much of this is Luffy and how much of it is fruit. I think Luffy had to put in the work to actually awaken. I don't think it's something as simple as, he had a near death and then it just awakened. I think it's a combination of the two. Um, I had to get back to the awakening of Zone thing.
Yeah.
So the jailers, one notable thing about the jailers, they almost seemed mindless.
Yeah, they pointed that out. They said like when they awaken, they're mindless.
Yeah, I don't think it's when they awaken they're mindless. I think it's because they're mindless is why they could awaken in the first place. Because
Oh
if
yeah,
you think
yeah, yeah.
about this, the only people we've seen be completely their entire ego be based off their fruits are inanimate objects. Funk Freed and that dog gun from the Baroque works, and those are the only anybody who's a human or has their own consciousness, even Chopper. I don't think Chopper is just his human devil fruit. I think he had a consciousness before the he got the human devil fruit, and the human devil fruit just like expanded his mind. It made him smarter, made him be able to think more. But he's still that same reindeer before he ate the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about the jailers is they're mindless, and I think what it is they were purposely made mindless and then given the fruits, and the fruits needed something that didn't have an ego, something that didn't have a mind, to then be awakened and be manipulated by the jail, the
Yeah.
warden, and the world government and stuff. So with Devil Fruit Zone Awakening, I don't think they just wanted manipulate my words are messing up, easily manipulated fighters. They also had very great recovery. And I think that's something that not a lot of people are thinking about with this Luffy situation is the fact that he probably did get either seriously injured or even died. And now one of his abilities could be uh, regeneration and recovery because he's his own. Back when we think in Paramecia, nobody would have thought like one of his things is regeneration recovery.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he's a zone, it opens up so much more possibilities. And this is why I also think that someone like if King has awakening, he's coming back. If Queen, I kind of doubt he would have awakening unless he forced it. And if he did force it, he might come back like mindless.
Yeah.
Maybe they kind of manipulated Jack. If that happened, he would come back. I highly doubt they would actually master their awakening, Queen or Jack. Jack because he's so young and he's not that great, and Queen because he's not very spiritual. He's a lot more science based.
Mm-hmm.
So I would see him trying to do a shortcut and like force his awakening.
Yeah.
But King is someone I can see who actually put in the work. So if he has awakening, he's definitely coming back because with the jailers, it was a different story. We didn't really understand how much of their awakening was valid. But with Luffy, we're seeing in real time what it looks like for someone to become awakening. And Luffy looks like he's completely fine. He looks like he's fully back. So that
Yeah.
also should make us think about Kaido. Is Kaido really just completely done and out for the count? He might still have some stuff up his sleeve. We don't know. It's so easy to get caught up in the hype, but you never know. I think it's so. And as a writer, if everybody thinks something, that's their moment to subvert expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So we might be playing because just like with the resin thing, me and you, we didn't fall for that. A lot of people are like, well, maybe he's goopy and he's like, no, he's a rubber person. Now that he's Nika, it doesn't take away his rubberness. Nika,
Yeah.
like it's like Marco's ability. He can turn to fire. Fire is a part of the Phoenix ability. Rubber is a part of Nika's ability. So he's still rubber. There's nothing, to debate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about the awakening in zones.
Elson Jackson said, he said, yo, that's fire, Eliz. And let me read some more of these chats from Angel's Room. He said, what if he can multiple futures with his observation? What if he can see most? Talking about the Gorosei dude.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, bro, maybe he unlocked the special. I kind of like the idea of the devil fruit because it's so particular to him. and it would be
Mhm.
like if he can do that, why can't the other ones do it as well? But
Yeah.
I
I
gotta
do got
see
one
what.
more thing to say about that.
Well, what's up?
So it just came to me that okay, so let's say he predicted a future. What future did he see though? What was he so weary of? Because here's the thing. Luffy turned to Nika, right? And it's easy to think that's what they were afraid of. But wasn't it the CP0's interference that caused Luffy to lose and then turn into Nika? Like
Yeah,
there's something murky about that. I'm not gonna say it wasn't them being afraid of Nika, but there's something a little weird about because they sort of influenced events that made it happen. So like if him seeing the future, what did he see? What is he trying to prevent? Maybe what is he trying to manipulate to happen?
hmm
That's just popped up in my head.
no, that's a good point. You know, like, and I kind of like that idea because it would make sense if let's say he does have some precognition abilities, right? Kind of like Madame
Hmm.
Shirley, and I think Madame
Yeah.
Shirley is just like I think she just has an advanced form of future sight, right? I think that's why she's
Hmm.
able to see what happens. You know, with him, he might just be able to see different scenarios and be able to, like, maybe it's a devil fruit ability where he could see multiple scenarios. So he could decide instead of just seeing the future and be like, okay, well, what do we do from here? You could see each scenario and be like, well, if everything happened, like if we make sure everything happens this way, then this is a scenario that's going to pop up, right? So that would
Yeah.
be a little more useful than just being able to see one future that you can't change, right? That you just it's just like here's what's gonna happen, right? Uh, but let me. Angel's Room said another thing that kind of made it obvious Luffy Devil Fruit was not just a Promethea is the fact Luffy never had to activate his Devil Fruit like Mister One or Jozu, who had the Diamond Devil Fruit. Uh, um,
That,
I
well, if you look at someone like Alvita, her paramecia dove fruit makes a permanent change. Paramecias don't have rules. You can't really think of it like
yeah,
that.
that's why I was
If
about
you
to
think
say.
of Zone, you're like, oh, they have a structure. You might even think Logias have a structure with the exception of Blackbeard. But Paramecias can be anything.
Yeah, and that's personally why I've always thought that Paramecias could be the most OP class because there's really no bound like there's no category. You know, like to me, there's really like two classes, and then it's everything else falls under Paramecia. Like
Yeah.
you got Logia, which are usually elemental users. They normally, with the exception of the Yami Yami no Mi, it turns the user make them intangible. You know,
Hmm.
they can't really create like they can't just make like they can't just make fire, right? They can't just manifest fire. They like Ace turns into fire. He can't just like turn a build like make a building go on fire with his thoughts or anything. You know what I'm saying? He has
Hmm.
to be fire and touch that building with the fire he creates from his body. Now zones are usually connected with animals, right? Animals,
Yeah.
beings, like deities, uh yeah, deities and animals usually. Which people are
Yeah.
animals, so yeah, we would fall under zone as well. Permecia, on the other hand, is more of a everything else type category that we can't really just put in a specific box. Like we
Hmm.
see we looked at Katakuri, he's a Permecia, but he was working similar to like a Logia to a degree, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And let me also say this: the reason why I didn't like the whole devil fruit, the resin devil fruit theory,
Hmm.
because it would be too similar to like I feel as though we seen two devil fruits that are already similar to resin, right? We seen
Yeah.
treble,
Mochi.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Katakuri, right?
Hmm.
And they're both like resinish, so I didn't really like that idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think you like
I do.
what's up.
I was gonna say I do want to say I got the best of both worlds. Because while I didn't believe in the resin theory, I sort of had a resin theory already made with my moon god. Because that was the whole point of my moon god, is like it was fluid rubber.
Yeah.
Um, so hey, if some comes out and he's turns out he can manipulate and all that stuff,
Yeah.
uh, I'll 100% be on board and could see why. I wasn't on board with his devil fruit itself being resin, but it's like I said,
Yeah.
if resin is a property of rubber, then why would it even need to change the fruit being rubber in in the first place? It just
Yeah,
make it
that
like he could regress and turn to resin.
that's and to me that's my biggest gripe against the whole resin theories that were out in the community, because I'm like, rubber is already like rubber in its pure form is resin, right? It's like
Hmm.
resin, same thing. So to me, it's like, it wouldn't have been exciting to know that it's a like the misdirect is it being a rubber devil fruit
Hmm.
just for it to be a resin devil fruit. I'm like, bro, that's not even that much of a. It's like, it's not. Is it really that different? Like it's like it'd be like Katakuri instead of Luffy, which Katakuri was still
Yeah,
able to do
I-
pretty much everything Luffy did, and it's like,
yeah.
it doesn't
Katakuri
make
has
that big
like
of a
sticky
difference.
mochi, and then he has block mochi. Like he could change the
Yeah,
properties of
like
his
it.
mochi.
Yeah, it's like it would be redundant in my eyes. That's why I didn't like that. Angel's Room said even Katakuri had to somewhat activate his devil fruit. But again, like Sugar, she don't have to activate her devil fruit. She just touches you. So like I don't know if that's a thing. Like Jozu, because Jozu was a Logia. But Katakuri activated his devil fruit the same way that a zone would activate theirs. Like, I don't know. Like, Prometheus is so there's no rules. Some you might have to actively activate. Some you might not have to. You know. So yeah, we disagree with the activation part not being a Promethea thing. And Angel's Room also said we don't even know Chopper Devil Fruit model. We just know it's a Hito Hito no Mi. I think Chopper's Devil Fruit just might be. I think he's the most basic Hito Hito no Mi Devil Fruit. You know, like I think
Could be like Hito no Mi model Jacob, just some guy. He's nobody special.
Model Bob, Model
Yeah.
Bob. uh,
No, but he actually that's actually a kind of a good point now because this whole Nika thing changes everything. For all we know, he does have a devil fruit lost to history, and it is a different guy, a special person we don't know. It kind of opens up that avenue. So it's
Chopper.
the possibility is out there.
Oh yeah, yeah, it definitely is. Uh, he said, yeah, even Luffy in chapter 1 said he feels happier because of the gum gum fruit.
That that I see a lot of people saying that. That's like half true. I Is it a foreshadow? Very likely it could be. But what Luffy was saying in that, it was more of a physical gag than anything. He was kind of saying like, look, I can make my smile bigger because I literally can like make my face bigger.
Yeah.
I was trying to say that without it sounding sus. What I was gonna say, he's literally saying I can spread my cheeks, but I was like, maybe not say that, but whatever. He's literally saying like I can make a bigger smile physically.
Yeah.
But even with that said, that it's meta because Oda has said that he wanted to make Luffy rubber because he could visually make like gags out of Luffy's fighting style. He used the word ridiculous, which showed up in this chapter. So this is something Oda has had been working on for a long time. That's for sure.
Yeah. He should have. Would have been funny though if we would have learned that Luffy's devil fruit was called the Oda Oda no Mi. I was like, Oda, come
Oh,
on,
it's funny.
man. Yeah, man.
Here's
But
something I could say on behalf of Oda is if anybody goes, oh, Oda, you know, pulled this one out of his ass. There's no way that's true because I predicted Sunman before there was even a Sun God Nika.
yeah,
That just goes to show if you pay attention to the story, you look into things, you can see where Oda's going with these types of things. I
yeah,
just was able to compile enough evidence to say I truly believe that there's something related to Luffy and the sun.
Yeah.
And well, here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always looked at Luffy, like I remember talking about Luffy being possessed early Wano, like before Wano. But I had like a nightmare Luffy
Oh
theory,
yeah.
man. But my nightmare theory Luffy was just uh Gecko Moria, right? Like it was him coming to Wano, him except instead of just a normal nightmare Luffy, it would have been Gear 4 nightmare Luffy, you know. Cause I always think like
Yeah.
it'd be dope to have like, cause like Nightmare Luffy and Gear 4 looks kind of similar as far as like
Mm-hmm.
build. I'm not saying they look alike, but as far as the build of their body, right? They both real
Yeah.
bulky, you know. And I would
That's
have
for
thought,
sure.
yeah, I would have thought like, what would a Gear 4 Nightmare Luffy look like? And I think the story was there, right? Like you got Gecko Moria's rivalry with Kaido, so it would make sense for Gecko Moria to want to help Luffy just to beat Kaido. Like, even though he don't like Luffy, it's like, look, I hate Kaido more, right? And it also brings Blackbeard to Wano. Maybe Blackbeard wanted Kaido's devil fruit. You know, he has 2 devil fruits, but his theme is always 3. So you get the. But now that I think about it now, because I always said Blackbeard would want Kaido's devil fruit because it could be potentially the strongest zone devil fruit.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's not
Now
the
that's in
case.
question.
Now
Yeah.
it's like we got Luffy, we got the model Nika, right? God, like come on
Mm-hmm.
now. But
So here's something interesting. I sent you a picture of something I looked at a while ago. I was like, oh my God, it's so weird. Like, even if I'm not right, it's like for some reason, it's funny. One of the comments we got like in the last stream was like, me and Best Chen had Oda's will. And there's just this weird thing where it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but there's certain theories that I'll hone in on something. Like there
mm-hmm,
was just something about Sunman that I really felt so confident about it. There was something in me that makes me it just feels real. Like there's something to this. Um on one of my previous things, I put next week's theory and it was just images. It shows a picture of Nika and it shows a picture of Nightmare Luffy equals new nightmare form. Now, he didn't have a new nightmare form, but this form is still related or has some kind of association with Nightmare Luffy because there's parallels between what Nightmare Luffy did to Oris and what this Nika form just did to Kaido. And I'm sure someone pointed out in the chat earlier that even the names of the chapters, Warrior of Hope, I believe, was the Nightmare Luffy one, and then Warriors of Liberation was this one. So clearly there was a connection there. So, to your testament, there could have been something in you that's just like there's just some feeling I get, some intuition or whatever that I feel like
mm-hmm.
Nightmare Luffy is going to be related to this. Oh no, and you're not wrong. It may not be exactly how you thought it was, but there was still something there to it.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know, man. I just had like a aha moment go in my head, like when you was talking. I'm sorry, I was thinking of something, and it was just like, man. Okay, so now we're getting the Sun God Nika, right? I'm thinking like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, we got to confirm that Luffy has the Nika Devil Fruit, Sun God Nika Devil Fruit,
Mm-hmm.
and that made me think
Yeah.
like, we got the Sun God, right? Sun God, and you said this before, that would make me believe that there was an existence of a Moon God, somebody who could have
Mm-hmm.
potentially been the rival, or the opposite, the anti Sun
Yeah.
God, the enemy
Mm-hmm.
of Nika, right? Maybe Nika had an
Yeah.
enemy, right? Now, could it
Mm-hmm.
have been Eam? Maybe. Maybe Eam is relatively new compared to Nika, though. At least as
Mm-hmm.
far as in the world of One Piece, because Eam could be old but from a different planet. So that makes me
Yeah.
think, man, like maybe there's an existence of a moon god,
Yep.
the anti sun god, the bad god, the yang, and I'm thinking like, could that be first I thought Eem. I'm thinking like maybe Eem,
Mm-hmm.
moon god Eem, right? But I was thinking, what about Blackbeard, right? What if the Yami Yami
Buggy.
no
Oh yeah,
Mi?
factor.
What if the Yami Yami no Mi acts like kind of like the moon god? Like they, like, what if it's the moon god? Like, what if it has the moon god? Or what if Blackbeard has another devil fruit? Like the I don't know what the name of the person. We got the Nika Nika no Mi or whatever, the Hito Hito Nika.
Mm-hmm.
So Blackbeard could have a third devil fruit already, like the Hito Hito. I don't know. It wouldn't be the Nika devil fruit, but I'm gonna just say the Moon God devil fruit, right? Maybe Blackbeard, and I don't know. Like I don't know. That just came. It just popped in my mind, man. Like it just made me think the existence of the Moon God and who would have the Moon God, who would be the enemy
Mm-hmm.
of the Nika devil fruit. I
So
look.
here's something crazy. Now, this can get a little wild. If it's possible that devil fruits were the spirits of people from the past that reincarnated into fruits, but there is an example of a power being reincarnated not in fruits, Shirahoshi. What if someone learned how to reincarnate their ability like that of a devil fruit, but into another person, and that person was Blackbeard?
Mm-hmm.
So what if Blackbeard he inherited this almost devil fruit without it being a devil fruit? So now he has two souls inside of him, and he was able to give a devil fruit to one soul. Effectively, now he has two devil fruits. He only ate one. He somehow got the soul of some other guy. Could have been Rocks. Could have been somebody else. And then he was able to get a second devil fruit. What if he already has three devil fruits just because the three devil fruit powers, but only two devil fruits? Just because he had two souls. So it's like he had two placeholders for these abilities.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And that person before him, maybe whoever before he ate the Yami Yami no Mi, maybe it was a moon god that put their soul inside of him. And that's just, how it goes about. Now, did this moon god have power prior that gave Blackbeard? Maybe, maybe not. But that kind of brings me to, well, before I move on to that, I want to actually finish talking about what you're talking about because I have thought about that, and I've thought about the straw hat. In my Sunman theory, I talk about how the straw hat can represent the sun, and there's two straw hats. So maybe that second straw hat also represented the moon because the moon and the sun are both just spheres anyway.
Yeah.
So that's possible.
Mm. Let me read these chats real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Angel's Room said, "I get the feeling that Elbath will have a bigger lore drop than anything we've gotten in Wano." I think Elbath would be
Either
the
that-
culmination of things. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we might see Vegapunk at Elbath or something. I know Vegapunk's gonna give us a lot of lore too, or like explanations of how the world works.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think Elbath is probably going to like wrap up a lot of stuff. I don't think we're going to get any more new things. I think we'll get like, a culmination of a lot of information. Because by that time, Elbath is probably going to be the series starting to wind down to the end game thing. So I think at this point, like from here on out, it's going to be about like wrapping up mysteries and stuff. Elson Jackson said 479 Chi. And then he said 1044 Chi.
So that the chi, right? That's the stuff I always talk about. The chi, the ki, the breath. And then
Yeah.
Shishi, that's lion. And that's also Luffy's laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things of why my sun god theory actually started off with me thinking about a dragon first.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's so I do think Dragon could be related to Sun God because if you look at the eyebrows, he has the same eyebrows as Momonosuke and Kaido in the dragon form.
Dragon.
But yeah,
Maybe like
my
a Eastern or Western dragon, maybe.
well then he wouldn't have those eyebrows. The Western dragon wouldn't have those eyebrows. He has the eyebrows of like an Eastern dragon.
I'm kind of looking up 479 just to see what the name of the chat. Yeah, Warrior of Hope. Hmm.
So my how I even got to Sun God, it originally started with me going, what if it's Dragon Man? Then I was like, it could be Monkey Man. Then I thought Lion Man, and I kind of put it all together. And Lion Man was the most significant one to getting me the sun because a lion represents a sun because of the way its mane looks and it's golden. But yeah, I do think sun is related. The lions are related to Sun God. I mean, obviously, just look at the ship, literally a sun.
Yeah, the the,
And
go, the going sunny, right?
yeah. You know, we've never seen a lion zone. I feel like Oda must be saving something good for
What
that.
was it? Where it said 9 times 2. Oh, never mind. Thought I was gonna make something out of it. But yeah, like yeah, we haven't seen the lion zone. I mean, we seen the lion smile fruit user, but not like a lion zone though.
Mm.
Yeah, and Elson Jackson said those are the chapters, the warrior of hope and liberation. So yeah, that's why he said that. But yeah, man, like it, yeah, we haven't seen the lion zone though. That's wild. Because I'm really trying to think of. I feel like we seen a lion before, but maybe no, yeah, I don't think we seen like a lion devil fruit user, right?
Mhm.
uh, what did I say? Elsa Jackson said, "You old fish, inverted OU king." I'm not sure. Hmm. I'm not too sure what that means too much. Maybe you
Yeah,
might.
I'm not sure the relevance.
Yeah. Uh, I guess because when you look at Kaido, he's a fish. I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know where that reference come from though. So that's why it's hard to say. But that's why when you look at fish, I guess because you got Luffy King, right? Pirate King or Joy Boy or whatever, and then Kaido Fish. So I guess that's where you might be trying to get at. I'm not too sure. Angel's Room said we haven't seen a Tiger Zone either. Yeah, we haven't. We definitely haven't. But there was something I kind of wanted to talk about Blackbeard.
Yeah.
I don't even remember, but it's like yeah. But I think we could be either looking at like either Eam or Blackbeard as a moon god possibly. Like that's what I would think. Maybe you know. But I was also talking to somebody, right? I think it was Angel's Room. I think it was Angel's Room. He was sending me some stuff about Skypiea. I guess they got there was the sun god in Skypiea. There was the forest god. There was the rain god,
Yeah.
earth god, and I mean I don't think that per se pertain to like the sun god Nika, because again in Skypiea
Hmm.
in Jaya they called, if I remember correctly, they called that big snake the sun god or the
Yeah.
fire, maybe fire god. I don't really remember, but they considered him the sun god or something. So I don't really know what them gods really part they play. Uh,
Hmm.
Elson Jackson said Peckham's LOL turtle line. Yeah, but wasn't he a lion that had a turtle? Yeah, he had a turtle devil fruit. Elsa Jackson says Uo Uo no Mi Kaido's fruit. And then who would be the Uo no Mi then if Elson? And then Angel Room said the two animals considered kings of jungles have not been shown. Interesting. Why? Where y'all getting at with the whole lion and tiger? Like that's where I'm confused because y'all talking a lot
Oh,
about
so
lion. Well, yeah, we
So
was talking
the
about the
Elston
sun guy.
Jackington brought up the titles for, Nika and Nightmare Luffy, and the numbers he said Shi, which is basically means lion's breath,
Mm-hmm.
and then he brought up Chi, which is like an inversion of that. It's like breath lion.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's why we even talked about lion, like because clearly lions I think are significant enough,
Yeah, yeah,
especially with Luffy's laugh literally being Shi, which is it's like his laugh is saying lion.
yeah.
And his ship is literally a line. So that's why the tiger thing. I don't know how much relevancy it could have. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if it's not as relevant now, taking on Dragon, I can't imagine how much relevant it will be later on in
Yeah,
the story. But it is true we haven't seen a tiger zone.
yeah. We haven't. We
They are
haven't.
considered kings.
But yeah, man. You got anything else? Anything stuck out in the chapter?
So I made Gear Fifth theories, and I even have like another one along the way. Now we see Gear Fifth, so it might make it seem like, well, is there any point to me releasing any more videos? Um, I would say this. This may be just the beginning of what we see from Gear Fifth. One thing you got to consider is that they said the limits of his Luffy's awakening is his imagination now. That's why it's the most ridiculous. So
Yeah.
there could be more to it. And I think that's important because of Luffy's character. That's one of the reasons why this could be potentially bittersweet. Because one of the greatest things we've loved about Luffy is how he turned this rubber fruit into something so creative.
Mm-hmm.
But if what it all culminates to is him just becoming another person, that takes away from Luffy's individuality. If all he's
Yeah.
doing is just becoming somebody who already existed, what about all that creativity he already had? Was it just him really just being in tune and being led down a path, a
Mm-hmm.
predestined path? That's kind of lame. But it doesn't have to stop there. Maybe Luffy takes what Sun God Nika created and he takes it and makes it so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my theory, right? I came out with Sun God Luffy, but I was like, it's not going to stop there. What if there's a Moon God Luffy? And I still think that that could be a possibility if Luffy learns more about Haki and its relation to Devil Fruit. Because it's kind of like with Law. Law was able to recreate Corazone's Devil Fruit. And I said this at the end of my Gear Fifth uh, video. I said it's almost as if what I'm speculating with Luffy is like he's creating new Devil Fruit powers because
Yeah.
that's what the development of Haki could lead to. So if Luffy masters Haki, let's say he masters that fluid ore like Rio. Rio's literally about flow and fluid. Maybe he could make something like Moon God. Maybe it's not called Moon God. Maybe it's still Sun God, but it's just showing his creativity, showing that he doesn't have to just limit himself to this one form. That's one thing. Two, he might in my Sun God video I said, what if he has Gear Fifth Sun God model Lion? It's interesting. I wasn't along the lines of thinking it was a zone, but I was still implementing zone ideas. So I was kind of like along the lines with that
Yeah.
thinking. But I said, what if he has like model lion, model dragon, model monkey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Using that Gear Fifth template, then he could further develop even more forms.
Yeah. Kind of like his transformations.
Exactly.
His Gear 4 transformations. Yeah, that's interesting, man.
And
That's what you say?
the last thing I was gonna say was I can't wait to see Luffy's reaction because I think he has some kind of attachment to the Gomu Gomu no Mi. So I would love to see his reaction to find out he doesn't have the Gomu Gomu no Mi. Like, how does it affect him? Will he not care? Will he be bummed? Will he be excited? I just can't wait to see him find out because I don't think he realizes he has a different devil fruit. I think to
Yeah.
him is like, oh, this is Gear Fifth. Oh, this is just my rubber power is like now I'm a Gear Fifth. I don't think he realizes that. Maybe he does, but I don't think he does.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think he probably wouldn't care too much, Like, he might be a little shocked, though, I could see him being a little like surprised, but I don't think
Yeah.
you know.
At least he's still Rubber.
Yeah,
That's some of the things he would say. He would say, "You can't. Rubber can bounce back from anything," or like, he had pride in being a Rubber person. So the fact that he's still Rubber, I think, definitely makes it where he'll be more receptive to being different.
the question is, do we call it the Gummo Gummo no Mi, or are we calling it the Hito Hito no Mi type Nika, or the Nika Nika no Mi? Like what
That's
do
what I
we
was gonna
call
say.
it
How
now?
about we
Though?
just call it Nika Nika? We
'Cause
know it's called the Hito Hito Mina, but let's call it Nika Nika instead.
I
just
feel
for
like
fun.
I'm gonna probably continue calling it the Gummo Gummo no Mi because that's what I like. Cause
Yeah.
I'm a traditionalist. I've been calling it the Gummo Gummo no Mi this whole time, so I'm gonna continue calling it the Gummo Gummo no Mi.
Well,
Screw
be
Nick
prepared for
now.
people going, actually, it's called the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika.
uh, uh, um, Angel Room say I'm not theorizing anything. I just think it's funny Oda hasn't shown the two most popular animals as zones. Man, there's so many animals he could probably go with zones, man. So many like unique animals that like I want to see somebody be like a jellyfish, man. They're like there's literally a jellyfish that's pretty much immortal. Like anytime it's about to die, it could pretty much devolve itself to be like a kid again and then just grow up again and continue living and then keep doing it. Look it up. But look up immortal jellyfish. It's literally an immortal jellyfish. Elsa Jackson said White Tower versus Azure Dragon concept might not come to fruition. He says agree, Elids. I think he's talking about what you like when you was I forgot what you was talking about at the time, but but he was agreeing with you. He said Shishi also means corpse. Shishi Chi could translate to breathing corpse. And we did say Luffy was dead, so I mean, right. Angel's Room said the Naruto Storm 4 in the back.
Yeah. I thought I had my camera off. I've been pacing back and forth because I've been sitting down too much today.
Yeah, you
So
still
people
on
have just
camera.
been watching pacing back and forth. I didn't realize. I just got to have my legs moving. I've been sitting down too long.
I feel you. Yeah, man, you got anything else? I pretty much talked about everything I got.
Nah. That was everything. At least how much energy I have today to talk about things. There's still a lot more to talk about, but
yeah, man, we
that's
going
it
on
for
almost 3.5 hours almost. But yeah, so anyway, y'all, yeah, so tomorrow we're gonna be doing another reaction video. I don't know what to do now, cause at first I was getting kind of tired of talking about like the whole Nika theories, cause I feel like everybody was talking about them, and I felt like I kept reacting to Nika and Sun God videos and Joy Boy and all that. So, but now I think we got a kind of a reset and a new perspective. So, I'm kind of curious of what I'm gonna react to tomorrow. I don't know yet. I seen you post a video. I might check that out. I didn't want to watch it because
that was just yeah.
That was what?
I'll tell you what that was. That was just me. Like I was just so hyped. I just had to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to record. I actually recorded that video at work and edited it at work and uploaded it. Like real simple. I just had so much energy from the chapter. I was just like, I just gotta put something out. I gotta talk about something.
Yeah, I was waiting because I might react to it but it was kind of short, so I was like, I don't know if I want. I try to get something within a certain range because, if I notice when I do like reaction to like 30-minute plus videos, them videos tend to be super long, kind of, having to stop constantly. And then if it's like less than 10 minutes, it's like it might just be too short. But like 20 minutes is usually like a happy medium. Like anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes is usually like a happy medium. But I'll react to shorter streams. I just had to do a lot more talking. But yeah, man.
When you watch when Understanding Hockey Part 4 comes out, that's gonna have to be like multiple streams because that video, I'm just going all out. I was debating like, toning it back a little bit. I was like, you know what? Let me just give my all. I go super nerdy. I go super spiritual because it's just like, this is just gonna be the last one I make, so I might as well just go all out.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be kind of crazy.
I feel you.
But
well,
so much work into it.
I appreciate you, stopping through the stream. Angel Room said, great stream. He also said, Luffy will probably keep calling it the gum gum fruit. I'm going to keep calling it the gum gum fruit. I am not even going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Or I might call it the Nika Nika fruit sometimes. I don't know yet. Elson Jackson said, love it, my guy. Awesome stream. Thanks. Appreciate that, you guys. I appreciate that. And Angel Room says, since he called his awakening Gear 5, he'll probably keep calling it gum gum fruit, or he won't find out its true name. Yeah, I could see something like that. Like it might, like Eam. I could see Eam telling him. So he might not learn until like that at the end of the series. Whenever he confronts Eam, if Eam is indeed the final bad guy and not Blackbeard. But whenever he confronts Eam, I could see that being when he finds out.
Yeah, Eam would definitely bring it up.
Yeah.
He might just be like calling him not by Luffy's name, like not respecting Luffy, just like, oh, so you're back, Joy Boy? And like Luffy, like, who's I'm Luffy? Something like that.
But all right, y'all. I appreciate everybody. I'm gonna probably do some shout outs. So I don't know if you want to stay for the shout outs. I'm pretty much shout out everybody who stopped through the stream. But appreciate Eliz for stopping through the chat, man. We could do
I see you guys.
But yeah, man. Shout out to Cube. Shout out to Angel's Room. Shout out to Stan. Shout out to BSP. New to the channel. Shout out to BSP. Shout out to One Man's Life. Shout out to Shane Burns. Shout out to Eliz, of course. He was just here. He was in the chat and then he hopped on the stream. Feel like I might be missing somebody who came through, but maybe I got everybody. Shout out to Elson Jackson. I'm not sure if I shouted you out, but definitely shout out to Elson. I'm not sure if I shouted out One Man's Life, so shout out to him. I know he was here. And if there's anybody that I miss, shout out to Stan. I don't know if I shouted him. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. Shout out to you. Appreciate everybody for showing up. Again, y'all, if you're watching this, make sure you like that video. Also, let me know what you thought of the chapter in the comments, and also let me know if you're going to keep calling the Gummo Gummo no Mi the Gummo Gummo no Mi, or are you going to call it the Nika Nika no Mi or Devil Fruit or what? Like, what are you going to call it? I'm curious. And what are your thoughts on the chapter? Anyway, make sure y'all like the stream, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. Also, follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. And if you're looking for a One Piece community to be a part of, we have the One Piece Facebook group and the One Piece Discord. The Discord is going to be the best place to send me videos to describe to react to. So if you want me to react to your video, to some videos or whatever, send it to the Discord. And if you're trying to be a part of the Facebook group, when you try to join, let me know that you're part of in one of the questions I asked, just say I follow you from YouTube, or I'm from YouTube, or whatever, and I'll definitely approve you. Because I'm kind of backed up on Facebook, and I'm particular who I add. Elson said anything but the Nika Nika no Mi. I'm probably gonna y'all probably gonna hear me say the Gum Gum no Mi, because I'm just used to saying that about Luffy's Devil Fruit. But anyway, y'all, man, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff God. Y'all have a good Sunday. I am out of here. Peace.